What is going on? What is going on, people? Hope you're enjoying your Monday, your crappy start of the week Monday. That's right. We are finally up. We're always working through some technical issues because I'm always adding in something new, something special, trying to anyway. So, sometimes we take a little longer to get on. And in this case, it's no difference. We are just trying to make it happen. So let me tell you about what I'm going to be doing in the future. Not necessarily at this moment, but in the future. I think I'm going to turn this into a true kind of podcast style. So in order to do that, well, I'm not going to be able to play commercial music. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. If you're fine without me playing commercial music and just having a chat, or if you need to have me DJ and play stuff that you probably already heard over and over again because you're on Twitch and there's nothing but DJs on Twitch. So let me know what your vibe is. Let me know what your vibe is. Also, I need everybody to sound off in the chat right now. Let me know where you are coming from. I'm also going to be doing a hold on, let me just get rid of these chat timers. There's definitely a glitch in this Restream Studio because if you don't answer a question, if you don't answer a simple question in this program, it locks in place. And then there's no way to turn it off. So now I'm being blocked from my chat because of this. T Diesel in the house. You close, but you're not there yet. You close, but you're not there yet. Scott Goho from Arizona. What is going on? What is going on? Now, of course, look, I can play music. I just can't play stuff that, obviously everybody's heard. So at the moment, I'm going to play just something in the background just to kind of get it going here. I have no idea what it is. Okay, all right. So that's okay. All right, so let's see here. We got Scott Scoho. We got Robert, Gene, Lewis in the house. What is going on, fam? Good to see you. We got DJ Six in the house. Always a pleasure hanging out with you, buddy. Thank you so much. We got, who else we have here? We got Rain Man 31X. You'll have to tell me about that one. Is Rain any part of your name? First name, last name, middle name? Let me know. What else we got here? We got AA Skater. What is going on? Double A Skater. We got the man whooping in the house. What's going on? It's funny. I tried to bring on Jay Book, and I contacted him. I was like, hey man, you want to get on? And he couldn't get on today. Watch, I'll bring somebody else on, and he'll be pissed off at me, like, why didn't you bring me on, man? Like, I can't do it all. Some people, and rightfully so, have to work, and I'm really happy for those people because I'm not one of them. So it is what it is. Jazzy Lou in the house. What's going on? Robert Jean, definitely play some tracks. Okay, so Robert, I don't know if this is your first time being here or not. It's what I tell everybody when I get on. This particular show isn't about showing any type of real DJ skills. Okay, this one is about talking tech, talking life, talking the world. If you want to see that stuff, like that's what your focus is, then you need to head over to Twitch, where I DJ about 3 times a week, sometimes more depending on my mood. And that's where I just DJ. I DJ, as some of the people would say. So that's why I'm trying to break down exactly what. Here's the thing. This is the God's honest truth. So I need everybody to understand that you guys are hanging with me. The problem is monetization. Okay? My ability to get paid. So if I spend all my time, even if I break it up half and half, and I'm DJing, blah, 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 right? And it goes onto YouTube. it goes onto Facebook, it goes onto Mixcloud, it goes onto Twitch. After I'm done with that session, that video is going to be demonetized. So all the work I've put into this, all the stuff that I'm trying to do, I can't actually use. So that leaves me with a couple of choices. And this choice is going to be up to you guys because these are honest choices. One choice is that I just do the mix and talking all on Twitch and Mixcloud. And then I download the whole thing, cut it up, and then I repost it without music to YouTube. Because that's the odds. That's the situation we're in. Okay? Because I can't monetize it. And, you know, some people are going to say, oh, man, you're being selfish. It's all about making money. Yeah, yes. Some of this is about making money. You know, I don't spend all of my time doing stuff to not make money. Yes, I have a love for the craft. I have a love for DJing. But me getting up every morning to do this kind of stuff, to talk tech, and mind you, there is some stuff on here that, you know, we'll be in a conversation and some really cool stuff will come out, some really cool content. And, you know, you get to YouTube and YouTube's like, you played this one song. Now this entire video is blocked from the world. You get what I'm saying? And there's no way of me knowing what song caused that, because it'll tell me on the list after I'm done, hey, all these songs were blah, blah, blahs, but I'm not going through a list of 300 songs just to find that one song that blocked it. I'd rather just, you know, not do it. So that's kind of what I'm facing here. And I'd honestly like to know, you know, what your vibe is. And Robert, I wasn't trying to call you out or pick on you specifically, because I know you're one of many that are like, no, play some music. It's a Monday morning. I want to get that vibe, whatever. But I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with this one, you know, because on YouTube, I already have a platform there. You know, all of my tech stuff goes on there. And so that's not an issue. Me providing this is an additional thing to it. So I don't necessarily have to put it on YouTube. You understand? Like, I started this thing actually on Twitch. This is my 3rd week doing this. I just brought on YouTube and Facebook literally like last week. And I'm still not sure that I want to keep it on there, especially with Facebook and, you know, the whole music going down on October 1st. I'm not going to have a choice. If I want to stream to Facebook, I have to cut out all the commercial music. There's no option. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. I'm in it just like you guys are. Now, there is one choice that I still have an option on, and that is on my software, I could run my mic into a different channel, and then maybe on Twitch, I can play the music, and then I can re-upload it. But I kind of like that whole live vibe thing. So we're just working through right now. I mean, in all honesty, I'm not trying to be difficult. Trust me, I'm not. But the fact of the matter is that, hey, this is where we are. Also, what I might end up doing is maybe dedicating specific time blocks. You know, maybe the first hour is talking. Maybe the first half hour, and then we have a half hour of music. I'm still working through it. You know, this is all just new. So I see we got John P in the house. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Milky 513 rocking in Las Vegas. Thank you. Appreciate you. DJ Notice 650. What is going on? Who else we have on here? Aang Al Sadoun. Hello from Kuwait. Nice. Tell me what the weather's like in Kuwait. Is it hot? Is it cold? I know weather patterns always change, so you never know what you're going to get in different regions. So let me know. Architect in the house. What is going on? Thank you so much about the Reloop 770 S9 video. AMS Discos, what's going on in the house? Miss Carlette Alba. Everybody does have to make a living. DJ Whoopig, yeah. You're not wrong. Oh, you know what? So look, I want to tell you this. This right here, this Miss Carletta, see this is a fan. This is a true fan right here. You see that? See, she knew that my most viewed video ever got demonetized for one sample. And it was just the instrumental. One sample got killed. 200,000 views. And it's still getting viewed to this day. But if I cut out that one sample, I'm cutting out a chunk of the video. So I'm just like, screw it. It is what it is. But yes, thank you. That's a true fan right there. See, she gets it. She gets it. Okay, let's keep going here. Now, and then of course, I do have music that I can play. I mean, I'm locked on to Epidemic Sound. If some of you people are trying to get into the whole YouTube thing and you're looking for music to play that's copyright protected, you have a legal license to play this music, check out Epidemic Sound. And there's several of them out there, you know, but I just latched on to Epidemic Sound, I think because of, I think Peter McKinnon was in one of his videos, and it was in one of his videos, and I was like, huh, that looks interesting. So I checked it out, but because I'm crazy and I can't just do one thing, I have to do it all. I went and literally researched all of them, every single one of them. And to be honest with you, the one that I liked the most was Epidemic, not because of Peter, but because when I went through all the other ones and I checked the music selections and kind of their styles, it made more sense for me and the type of music that I do for Epidemic. So I'm really happy with it. I've been with them for a couple of months now. About 2 years. I actually started with them. I started with them when my video got demonetized. And I was like, I need a solution for this, because when you're first starting out on YouTube, on any tube, basically, the things they don't tell you, the things you don't really know, is that you go on there and you start looking at other people's videos for inspiration, and you're like, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this. So you go and you take it, and then you start working through it, and the little things are how they get you. One of the biggest things that get you on YouTube is the safe to play music, the download friendly music. Now this could be from like a producer that he's just starting out or whatever, so he's putting out all his music and he's got super dope tracks. So you're like, oh, that's dope, and you pull those songs in, right? And you put them all through your video, and it says free to use. Don't worry about it. It's copyright free songs to use for your YouTube videos. And then you put them on, and for like 6 months, everything's good. All of a sudden you get hit with this whole copyright notice, and they're like, oh, this video is being demonetized now. Why? Because the same guy that said all his music was free decided that he was going to get it copyrighted. And then all of the videos that you made, all of the videos that 1,500 other YouTubers made, all of a sudden he's making the money off of your content. That sucks. Like, there's nothing good about that. Nothing good at all. So anyway, that's why I opted to go with Epidemic Sound. This isn't a paid for sponsorship or anything like that. I don't want you to think that. But it works for me. It works for me. And there's some dope people out there. Like Epidemic Sound has a lot of people that are, not only are they producers, but they're actually artists. There's actual music with words. Like if you saw my last video on the end of the era where I shut down my studio, the music I used from them, that was theirs, which is why I was able to do it. I found a cool song, and then I put it on. Now, what's also cool about it is they break it down into stems. What are stems? Stems are basically these sections of the music that once you separate out a track, that's what they're called. So you got your drum track, your bass track, maybe just your samples and just outlier type sounds, and then you have your vocals and maybe your choruses, and all of those things are broken out into these things called stems. So I was able to take those and then basically put them together and make them work. So, and I'll if you want, I'll show you the video. I'll show you the one part of the video that I'm talking about, just so you can understand, because I think because I was able to get the acapella part of it, it really did kind of drive home the emotional weight of what was happening. So I don't know. Let me know. Let me know. All right, let's see what else we got here. Robert Jean, do the tech talk. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Show. There we go. Okay. All right, let's take a look at these comments. So, yeah, look, T Diesel is right about this. It's, I know people get lazy because in reality, that's all we're talking about here. That is just lazy. You know, they're used to getting on YouTube and checking things out. Maybe they're already on there. Their main guys are on YouTube. So they just are on YouTube. I get it. I was on YouTube all the time also. But the fact is, all the DJs, and I don't mean just like some of the DJs. I mean, all the DJs are on Twitch. And if you consider yourself to be like a DJ or somebody that's learning to DJ, you want to be where the talent is. And right now, all the talent is on Twitch. Now, this could be completely temporary. Like in 4 months from now, Twitch could say, you can't play commercial music anymore. You got to go. And then they leave. And then they end up on Mixcloud, or they end up on Play DJ. You know, all of these options are still there. But right now, it's when everybody goes to a certain place, it's probably a good idea for you to see. It's like if you're walking down the street and then all of a sudden 60 people start running your way and running past you, even if they don't say one word, they don't scream, they don't look panicked, you're still going to go, something's going on here. And you're going to turn around and you're going to start running the other way. Why? Because that's the way human nature works. So that's kind of what Twitch is. Everybody was like, I'm on IG. I'm going to fight the man. I'm going to fight the system. And IG is like, no, you're not. Off. And you're like, okay, so what next? And then Twitch came on board. So I think that you gotta go where the people are. And I've said it, I'll keep saying it, especially during quarantine, during COVID. A lot of my contacts have come from Twitch. A lot of them. None have ever come from YouTube. Like, I've never gotten a message from some big time DJ company like, hey, you want to review our products? I've never gotten that off of YouTube. Nobody's ever direct messaged me from YouTube or sent me an email like that. But on Twitch, people are whispering me. I know that's what they call DMs, whispers. I don't know why. I don't make the rules. But so it's the best thing for you to be on Twitch. Not even if you don't care about gaming or wanting to have another app, but it's basically like, if you think about it, Twitch right now is like Sirius XM for your phone. And you can take that phone anywhere and plug it in. Like, I can't tell you how many times I'm driving down the road now and I plug in Twitch and I listen to whatever I want to listen to. All my radio stations are there. You know, last night, my boy Remark did Island Vibes, Sunday Island Vibes. Nothing but like dope ass, like Hawaiian versions of like popular music. I was never going to find that anywhere else, ever. So, you know, I'm good. I'm good with what it is. I'm also smart enough to understand that it might be completely temporary. And I have to be able to go, okay, I'll work through it. I'll go somewhere else if that changes. But right now, that's where we are. We're on Twitch. But like I said, I'm also on YouTube. Right now, I'm even on Facebook. Now, I don't know how many people are going to be on Facebook in another 2 weeks. Because once they put the hammer down, do I really want to think about the fact that I may or may not have to get sued, get banned, get blocked off of Facebook so my mom can't see pictures of my children? Am I really going to risk that? I'm going to risk threatening my mother's happiness. I'm going to risk her calling me every other second because now she has no access to my children. Do you understand? That's what Facebook is. Facebook is not about playing music. Facebook is about keeping all of your relatives away from you. All of your relatives, all of your old friends, get them off of you. You can be like, no, man, you want to know about me? Look, I put this whole wall up with everything about me. Hey, look, I watched football yesterday. Hey, look, I watched some leg. Hey, look, here's a picture of my 8-year-old. Isn't she cute? Hey, look, here's this. You see how that works? But without Facebook, what's left? Grandparents calling you, aunts and uncles calling you, your mother, your father calling you. I haven't seen the kids in a while. Can I come over and see the kids? I'm just saying, you've removed a lot of drama from your life. Now, for all I know, my mom is probably on here. She loves to be on Twitch checking out stuff. She's probably like, see, I knew it. But look, I am a private type of person. And for me, I know I'm different from a lot of people. It's a Capricorn in me. That's right, Capricorn, born and raised. But I am very much okay with not seeing a single person for long periods of time. Like, I'm good with that. And that's one of my, I guess people want to call it a weakness. It is a weakness. Like if like we're hanging out and like we're having a good time, I'm like, oh man, that was so dope. I really had a good time doing that. And they're like, yeah, me too. Let's do it again. I'm like, cool, sweet. And then they leave and they're gone from my brain, my memory banks. They don't exist anymore to me. Like, if I don't see you right there, you are gone. And I know it's a flaw. I know it is. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just the type of person I am. Neil Armstrong. Hey man, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you out there. What do we have here? DJ MQ. What is going on? Let's see what DJ MQ is saying. Also, you're probably going to hear me reading a lot more because if I turn this into a podcast, well, people are going to, if I answer questions, people are going to say, what the hell is this man talking about? Like, I'm completely disconnected. So you're going to see me and hear me reading questions that are already on the screen, but that's what we have to do for the podcast. And MQ says, what up, CT? Just saw your video on closing the warehouse. Sorry to see you closing, but wish you well when all the things open back up. Staying optimistic with you. Yeah, I'm very optimistic that we will get out of this. Although, having said that, Israel just shut their doors for another 3 weeks because they're having another outbreak of COVID. So, it's one of those things. And my oldest daughter, she goes to UC Santa Barbara, and she's been there now for a while. But she went back to school during COVID. She's been safe. She doesn't have it. But the problem is she was supposed to be coming home Friday. Okay. Because it's the end of the quarter, so it's a quarter break for them. The problem is that she's just about to leave, and one of her roommates, who doesn't have COVID, was hanging out with her sister, who got COVID. She didn't know it when she was hanging out with her, but now my daughter called me and says, hey, I'm supposed to be coming home. Can I come home? I'm like, you can't come home yet. You have to verify that you don't have it. So she had just been tested like a week ago. So I know it was a kind of a problem, but it's not about her. It's like, look, I know you got tested. I know you're safe. And it's kind of funny because she came home just out of the blue to go pick up some stuff, probably to do laundry, as all college kids do. And she came home and she's walking around. She's walking around like, hey, I don't know about you guys, but I'm the only one in this house that knows they're COVID free. It's kind of like when you go in and get an AIDS test, and while you're waiting for that AIDS test, you have AIDS. Like, there's no way around the fact that you have AIDS. There's no justification. There's nothing in your mind that says, I was smart about it. You just have AIDS. So, I took my AIDS test. I remember this to the day, because I haven't taken one in a long time because I've been married for a long time. So, but prior to getting married and being a dude, because we are dudes and that's what dudes do, we do stuff, That's what dudes do. We do stuff. That's what the DU in dudes is. And so I didn't always lead the most perfectly responsible life. And not that I thought, that I was doing anything wrong, but there were definitely some questionable encounters. I'm going to leave it at that. So I remember to this day, I went to get my AIDS test, and this was a while ago. Like, I don't even know the situation now because I haven't gotten them taken. But back then, there was always this big fear that, like, if you took a test and you were positive, that the entire world would know. Like, your doctors would know, everything would get screwed up, and then you'd be living this life of drama. So so there was, at one point, I live in California. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Cleveland Terry lives in California. I always have to say this every show. Cleveland is actually my first name. It's not a joke. I'm not from Cleveland, nor have I ever been to Cleveland. So anyway, I live in Los Angeles, Southern California, and we have a very huge gay LGBT community. And like, huge, obviously. I'm in California. I'm in LA. And so back in the day, when this was a thing, they were more concerned that they would kind of be found out, and they would, there'd be, again, all this drama. So they had their own little anonymous testing zones out in Hollywood. So you just go, you say, I want my blood test. They give you a number. And then after that, you go home, and then you wait. And I mean, you wait. It was a 1 week test. Okay. So you had to wait an entire week while you, in your mind, I think Chris Rock had a joke about this. And the only reason why Chris Rock's joke resonates so much with people is because this is exactly how you feel. Literally, I'm up every night like, okay, well, there was this girl. Okay, and there was this girl. And okay, definitely with this girl. Okay, I have AIDS. I'm dying. This is it. I'm going to die. I have AIDS. And then after you get the test results back, and they call you, you're like, number 38, you tested fine. You don't have it. No. I'm sorry. There wasn't a number. I had to go back in. That was before they would call you back. And she was like, okay, you want your results? And it was jacked up too, because like, I'm sitting in the room, right? And she's like, do you want your results? No, lady, I don't want my results. I'm good. Just keep them to yourself. I'm going to go live my best life. No, they're in there with you, and they're like, do you want your results? I'm like, yeah. And they sit there like it's a goddamn game show. Like, well, let's see what Terry has. And then finally she was like, you're good. I'm like, oh, thank you. And then you leave the building. And you leave the building literally like you have been reborn. You were like a born again Christian. Like they just bathed you in the waters of Christ. And you walk outside like, nothing can touch me. I'm clean. You start looking at other people like, you got AIDS. You got AIDS. They don't have AIDS. But that's what you're thinking in your head because you know that you're clean now. And it's kind of like the way born agains are. Every born again Christian I've ever known has always been the same way. They're like, oh, have you been baptized? Like, no. And they look at you like, going to hell. Let me help you. Let me get you baptized. Have you accepted the word of Jesus Christ in your heart? And that's facts. So I'm like, I'm walking around literally like, yeah, man, I don't have AIDS. Start talking to people. Oh, you want to have intercourse? Well, do you have AIDS? Because I don't. You know, and that's just that AIDS ego, I guess. So back to my daughter's story. So she comes home like, I'm the only one that doesn't have COVID in here. I have validated, I have verified, I don't have COVID. Ha 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 ha. And we're like, yeah, you're right, but we might have COVID and giving it to you right now. Like, we have no idea. We haven't been tested. So the irony of this whole thing is we haven't been tested. We don't have COVID. She got tested. She didn't have COVID. And then a week later, because she's a kid and she lives with other kids, she may have COVID. You see how this works? See, with AIDS, you don't just get AIDS from a dude walking into your room and sitting next to you. Like, that's not how AIDS works, you know, but COVID's a whole different thing. So now we're like, look, we don't think you have COVID, but all we have to do is have the other girl get tested. If she gets tested, then, you know, all bets are off. We're good. If she comes back negative, then you're negative. That's the way, you know, that's the way it works. So so we're still waiting on that, because she was supposed to be back on Friday, and now she can't. And we'll make it work. Sorry, as I'm talking to you, I'm looking for a song that's clean here. See, look, no copyright music. All of the stuff that I used to play, no copyright. You know what? I'm gonna play. Anybody that's ever listened to any of my videos recognizes this song. So as we let this beat play, we're gonna stroll down this comment sheet, because I know I'm a ways back, because I'm always a ways back, but that's okay. Okay. All right. DJ Notice asks, is there a way to split up the mic source, maybe running in through the mixer just to record the conversation without the music because of copyright? Yes, there is a way in the A10 Mini Pro. I use the A10 Mini Pro for all of this. As you can see, I can just switch things around. You see I got the backdrop. That's actually from my desktop that I can do. So yes, I do use the A10 Mini Pro, and I will do that. But that doesn't solve all the issues, because if I'm recording live and I'm playing commercial music, then that entire stream gets blocked. There's no way around it. It gets blocked. So that's what I'm working through here. I'm working through the fact that I'm trying to speed my process up, because look, everybody has to realize here, I'm just one person. I don't have like a production crew helping me out and getting this stuff up. So when I make a video, I take that video, I shoot that video, I pull all the cameras from that video, I pull it all in, I edit that video, I color grade that video, I bring in the music, I do all that stuff. That's all me. So that's already a super long process, okay? Even in its fastest, and with the A10, it's actually sped up my process, but it's still a long process, because even when you edit, it's not just about cutting it up and then going. You know, it's also about telling a story. And sometimes you'll go through an entire recording, and then you'll look through it and you're like, you know what? I don't like what I said here. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to the story I'm trying to tell. And then later on, you said something that did make more sense. So I can cut that out and then bring this back over here and then start to split it up again so the story makes sense. You know, I do that with my tech stuff. I do that with my especially with my gig logs, because gig logs are always, and this is one of those things that if you're trying to do this whole YouTube thing, you need to understand it's everything you do. And some people are going to disagree with me, and I'm okay with that. But everything you do should have a story behind it. If it doesn't have a story, then it doesn't make sense. Now, if you're just a tech guy and you're reading specs and this is what it is and this is what it is, fine. Okay, not a problem. But the bottom line here is, if you're doing any type of things with stuff happening around you, okay, that gig log, whatever it is, you have to tell a story. because we've been living on this earth for millions of years. And what has always made it through the entire history of our lives? Stories. That's how people learn. They learn through stories. And if you don't tell them a story, you only tell them specs and facts, and you have no reference to the facts, they're never going to learn. You know, they might hear you, but afterwards they're not going to absorb it. So I tell stories, and it works for me. It works for me. All right, let's see what else we got here. Rhett Brewer in the house. What's going on? Mucho DJ in California. What is happening? What is happening? Wind show events. Oh, Orlando, Florida in the sun. Is it humid though? Is it like hot and sweaty? Because that's the thing. That's the Florida thing. Every time I've ever gone to Florida, first off, I don't know what it is about Florida, but once you exit the airport in Florida, why do they smell so bad? I mean, there's some of the worst smelling. It's in the air. Is it the water? Like, is it the funk that comes through the water and like blows into the direction? Because that's the first thing I noticed when I got off the plane. I was like, it smells in here. Because we do a whole bunch of cruises, so we always fly into Florida for the cruises. At least we did do a whole bunch of cruises. So you'd go into Florida. And I remember to this day, every time I'm like, it stinks. You people stink. Not all of you, but obviously a lot of people by the airport too. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. John P., good morning. DJ Trey Money in the house. Louis, Armando, what's happening? DJ T Cool, why not stream on Mixcloud? I am streaming on Mixcloud. I think maybe I already said this, and it's just a delayed question. But the problem is not just Mixcloud. And by the way, for the most part, people aren't on Mixcloud. That's the biggest problem with Mixcloud right now. Mixcloud, because it was designed to go back to and pull music. It wasn't designed to be a real-time application. So everybody that's using Mixcloud, a lot of people don't have that mindset of, oh, this is the place I go to for live music. They don't get that. Okay, so that's the biggest problem with Mixcloud, is that just people don't use it like we want them to use it. Okay, but I do use Mixcloud. I'm streaming on Mixcloud right now. See, if you were following me on Mixcloud, you'd actually know that. Mix and Mel, what is going on? Davenport, Iowa. Appreciate you. Are you guys in a relationship, Miss Carletta? You guys in a relationship? And is it Carlette and your last name is Alba, like Jessica? I don't know. I'm not trying to plot your actual history and what's your social security number. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just asking a question. William in the house from YouTube. What is happening? What is happening? AMS Discos, I've said hi. Finally get to catch you live. Seven Holland, appreciate you, man. And of course, you come to check me live, and I'm literally like changing my whole entire vibe to do this. So, but I think what I might do is maybe at like, we'll see. Like I said, I'm trying to see exactly how long I can just do this without actually having any guest on, because there's no guest on today. Tomorrow, I do have DJ Rachel Lynch on. She's going to be being interviewed at about 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So I'm trying to figure out how long I can talk without playing music, because it used to be, I would talk, then I DJ for 5-10 minutes and then talk some more and then DJ for 5-10 minutes. But now, like, I just have to talk. Like, that's different. That is different. Like, again, I don't mind talking. I talk all the time. That's kind of my thing. Terry Talks. If you were on Twitch right now, my Terry Talks emotes are probably populating. Since I'm so far behind, I can pretty much guarantee you they are. See, this is where I would need, I need my moderator. I miss my moderator. She's been working a lot lately, and hey, I appreciate her for that. But she helps me out on this stuff. Rain Man, is that a record pool? I mean, technically it is a record pool, but not in the way that you think. I mean, it has a whole, you know what I'll probably do is I'll probably take you through Epidemic Sound just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. We'll share it up. We'll do that. Okay. All right, Jazzy Lou, I know I've answered that question. Yes, I can route it, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still creating more work for me. And I'm all about not doing any more. Look, right now, after I'm done with you, so after I am done with this show, I have to go to a meeting where we're talking about a new product that's coming online. Okay, so I got to do that. And then after the meeting, I have to eat. And then I have to shoot another video. Okay, so because YouTube is where I put all my stuff. So I have to shoot another video to get that out. And well, what you're asking me to do, not you personally, so don't take it personal when I say you, but what you're asking me to do is then finish the video, edit that video, which is probably going to take me another. So it takes, if I'm shooting a talking head video, that's basically me right here on a chair talking about products, you know, depending on what I'm doing, like my news report style, that will probably take me, I don't know, an hour and a half to do. And then I have to go back, and the edit alone would probably take me another 2 or 3 hours, because at that point I'm pulling in all the content. At that point I am adding in all of the extra flair in the screenshots and, you know, product shots and all that stuff. So that would probably take me another 2 to 3 hours to do. And then, so what are we talking about now? So now that process is probably 4 to 5 hours. Okay. So then after that, there's no way in hell that I'm going to go back and then take all the audio and pull the videos off of YouTube and pull the videos, you know, off of Facebook. And then it's so much work. And I still have a family. I still have a life to lead. I still have to, you know, cook dinner and do all that stuff. So it's just, it creates a problem. And I know, look, again, I'm not saying I won't DJ anymore. I'm not saying that. I DJ all the time on Twitch, usually like 3:30, 2 to 3 times a week. So if you want to see that, like, I'm super cool with that. You know, come on to Twitch. Just come on over and we'll go from there. But like I said before, I'm trying to make my life easier. That's all. Just trying to make it easier. All right. Moon 2020. Hey man, thanks, or woman, thanks for the follow, or whatever you identify yourself as. Yeah. This right here, this is the main problem, because they're not really looking into why we are doing certain things. I mean, in this case, I'm literally just, you know, it's the backdrop of the show. Yet, unfortunately, it's not possible. Let's see. Whoopik says, going through that right now with all the Jeff Keel tracks that Casey Neistat made popular. Was copyright free until the pandemic. Exactly. And, you know, that's the issue. And look, there are certain people, and this is what they won't tell you, you know, MKBHD, he plays a lot of, oh God, what is the name? Alta. He plays a lot of Alta instrumental tracks. Okay. Alta's super dope. It's one of my favorite groups out there, but he plays them in his music like it's no big deal. Now the man has, you know, what, 4 million followers, and he gets 2 million hits every time. He has a licensing agreement with Alta, so he's able to play their music. Casey Neistat, come on now. You mean to tell me that somebody's not going to literally, like, he doesn't have his guys going to people? Because I've seen him play music from artists that were, like, legitimately have music, like, on iTunes and Apple Music, and I'm just like, how is he playing this? Because he's getting sign off. So that's what makes it easy. But yeah, I no longer trust anything that comes out of any YouTuber's thing. I have no idea how they're monetizing. if they even care. Maybe they don't care about the music they're playing because they're getting monetization somewhere else. But for me, my monetization comes from click-throughs. You know, I don't have sponsorships like some of these other people do. And I've had companies ask me, but it's the shittiest stuff I've ever seen. And I just can't get myself to take a sponsorship and then I'm on this channel like, and ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you by bullshit stuff, and be okay with that. Like, I can't. That doesn't work for me. I'm working on a couple of deals right now. Hopefully, you know, that will pan out. But yeah, unfortunately, this is the life we live. You know, we're all about that YouTube life. Sam Yang, what's going on? DJ The Force in the house, what is happening? DJ Blazin, DJ Mix and Mel. I create a lot of my old songs and beats. Yeah, so do I. And I might have to do that. I just haven't created a lot of songs lately. And that's the thing. Seven Holland asks, what do you think about Periscope? I don't think about it at all. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've used it. It's fine. But, you know, again, you have to understand where the viewership is coming from. And it's not coming from Periscope. You know, I've had some people on there, but I'm not getting real reactions, especially when I was first starting the DJ in this whole thing. And then, you know, I went on there and I was restreaming to everywhere, and because I wanted to see. And yeah, I don't get the hits on Periscope. And look, everybody, this is the frustrating thing about it. None of the sites I'm talking about right now have licenses to allow you to play commercial music, except for Mixcloud. So people are like, well, Periscope doesn't take me down. It's not about that. It's not about Periscope taking you down, because you don't make any money off of Periscope. You don't make any money off of Twitter. So why do I care if they don't take me down if I can't monetize all the work I'm putting in? Because that's essentially what I'm talking about. I'm talking about all the work. Okay. When I decide to do pop-ups or do things where it's just like not a big deal, that's fine. But if I'm going to spend my time helping people and working through tech stuff and doing all these things and providing information, I think I should be entitled to, earn a living, because if that's the way we work. If you needed to call tech support, somebody's getting paid for that, and so that's why I don't have a problem with Periscope. I just don't think that it's of value, because there's no way to monetize it, like, at all. And I'm well beyond the fact that I need to DJ for random people. Like, that's not what I'm doing anymore. If I'm DJing, I'd like to see if I can make money. Now, that is one of the biggest things about Twitch. Twitch and Mixcloud are the only two sites, and Play DJ when it finally does move itself up. But it is the only sites that you could actually earn money DJing. Okay? Mixcloud, even though there are no tips, there are no bits or nothing on there, you can still earn money from the subscriptions. That's the only way you can earn money on Mixcloud, is from the subscriptions. And that's fine for a lot of people, but in order to really make good money, you got to have a lot of subscriptions. Okay? Twitch, on the other hand, allows for subscriptions, but they also have this whole money-making bit scheme where people can throw bits at you and throw money at you and, gift other people subscriptions that are in the video stream. And all those things are going into your pockets. That is the only one. So how are you going to tell people, again, not you specifically, don't take it personal, but how are you going to tell people that, well, don't get on Twitch? Because Twitch right now, for people that are trying to make some money, that maybe are DJs, it's the only way. I know people right now that are legitimately paying their rent with Twitch money. Okay? Just because. I mean, think about that for just a minute. They're just DJing. People like them so much, they're throwing bits out. There's these things called hype trains. They're throwing out mad subscriptions. And They are making money. Like legit. And I'm not talking like my rent was like, $400. I'm talking like my rent was $1,500 and I paid it all off Twitch. Not OnlyFans, I paid it with Twitch. So think about that for a minute when when people are saying, why are you even on Twitch? Because there's money to be made. I don't even make that much money on YouTube. YouTube is only click-throughs. So in reality, it would make far more sense for me to focus if I was just about making money and not about making about gaining subscribers and getting my name out there. If it were just about making money, it makes far more sense to be on Twitch 24/7. If it were just about making money. But it's obviously it's not just about making money. But look, these are facts, okay? Facts are right now during quarantine, people are trying to make money. What's the easiest way to make money? Twitch. Is it illegal what we're doing? Hell yes. Okay. But even if you weren't DJing, you can still make money. Like right now, if I'm on this show and I'm talking, somebody could be like, thank you for your help. Here's 100 bits. Thank you for your help. Here's a gift subscription to all the people that are in here right now. Just like that. And all that money, besides, less 30% comes to me. All I'm doing is doing what I'm normally doing, and there are channels out there that are really good at these hype trains. Like I don't get hype trains. It's not, I don't get them. I understand them, but for some reason I don't get them. So I need to work on that part and maybe it'll happen. But right now, that's not where we are. All right. 9 Iron, what is going on, man? Good to see you. Who's doing one last Facebook stream? This is a funny ass question. You know what? I am. I definitely want to do one. Actually, can I? It's my wife's birthday. I think I'm going to be out of town. Hold on. When is the 30th? When is the 30th? Okay. Oh, you know what? I will be here. The 30th is on a Wednesday. Hell yes, I'm going to be doing that. Hell yes. Why not? That would be hilarious. I think that everybody that ever DJed on Facebook should be on Facebook. I think at that point, that's the time to do it. Legitimately. All right, let's see. I know I'm a ways behind. Guys. I'm sorry. Wyatt, if you're still on, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I have my moments. Sometimes I'm good. Sometimes I'm really good. Sometimes I suck. And that's just the life of a DJ and the life of a human being. We're not always perfect. Unless, no, we're not always perfect. Because I was going to say, unless you're like Miles Medina. I was watching him on his Sunday brunch show. And I don't know if you guys know who Miles Medina is. He's a DJ. But he's a very well-known DJ in the DJ. I keep saying DJ. And I know you guys understand what I'm saying, but I don't have another word for it. Respected DJ community. Like he is well known. He's well regarded. And he's super, super dope. He's the most laid back dude you'll ever see too. And he'll just destroy a room real quick. And he does this Sunday session on Twitch. He does a Sunday session on Twitch and just, I think I'll just do the dopest thing you've ever seen real quick. And you're just like, okay, you're that guy. And not only is he a dope DJ, but he does a lot of his own edits, a lot of his own blends. Look, it's funny. I'm learning because I've always thought that every single song was either a remix or an edit, but that's not true. There's actually another thing called blends. And that's when if you take an acapella from somebody and you put the acapella on another song and you don't do anything to it, anything whatsoever, that's a blend. See, I'm learning these things. So he does a whole bunch of blends and the choices that he makes are some of the dopest things. And I honestly don't see a lot of people doing it like he does it. He's just dope. Follow Miles Medina. If you don't follow Miles Medina, I don't believe you are a real DJ because he will put you into perspective. Okay. What are my thoughts on Streamlabs mobile for Twitch streams? Well, I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And if mobile is your only option, then yeah, why not? You know, actually, who uses Streamlabs mobile? Oh God, what is his name? The one out of Chicago. I can't think of his name right now. But Flipside 33. He does mobile on occasion, like he'll do it like on the port or something cool like that. Mike Marquez, I believe, does it via mobile when he does his New York run. Like he'll be like in the middle of like Times Square and he'll be DJing with a little controller. Super dope. He does one every Sunday now where he does it at sunrise. And I'm like, that's dope, man. You won't see me there because sunrise in New York, I believe it's got to be around 6:30. So that's 3:30 my time. I'm nowhere near doing that. Jojo Monopoly, thank you, man. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Let's see what else we got here. Transit 302, thank you for the follow. So I think what I'm gonna do is I might have to skip ahead. L Connors, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Okay, so this is a question. Have you thought of using local artists that give you permission? You're still in the same situation. Because if they are a local artist and they do the mix in like, here, man, here's the track, check it out, play it. You can play those and you're not going to get dinged. However, you still have to make sure that there's no like baseline sample that's going to get you flagged. You have to make sure that they don't have any type of like ASCAP licenses, because here's another thing that people don't tell you, or they do tell you, but maybe people just don't understand. Even if you have licenses to play this music, right? Like let's say you have a mechanical license and you can play it, you're still going to initially get blocked. Okay, Facebook's still going to block you. You know, YouTube, they'll block you, but once you provide it, maybe they won't block you in the latter videos, but there's still that chance that you're going to be blocked, and then you're gonna have to say, no, I have a license. They're gonna go, oh, we're sorry, we're gonna take it off. But here's the thing, look, anytime you make a video, anytime, you're gonna get your largest numbers within the first like week, okay, and then it's gonna trickle down a little bit. Yeah, you might get some secondary stuff. Like I get videos right now that see resurgences. I don't know why, but something will happen and all of a sudden I have all these people watching some old ass video that I did. And then I have to answer all these old ass videos. That's always funny to me because like I did my one video on the difference between Serato, Virtual DJ, and Rekordbox. And I said why people use certain softwares in the clubs. And I was talking about specifically California and Hollywood and that Hollywood scene and all that stuff. I even prefaced it like, hey, if this doesn't apply to you, cool. If you're somewhere else, cool. Like I know a lot of the European people, I know they use Tractor. Like I get it. And that's kind of how I prefaced it. But people get butthurt anytime you tell them that their software is not the gold standard. So I got a whole bunch of people, virtual DJ people like, no, man, no, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, look. So I got past that. You know, like after that video, I then went on to Virtual DJ. I downloaded it. I used it for literally like 3 months, right? And I still have it to this day. I still use it. You know, anytime something comes out, I open it up, I test it out. And so all of the people that were on that whole Virtual DJ kick, like saw that video, saw my other videos after the fact, and they were like, oh, okay, this guy's not just being a dick. Like he actually, you know, wants to get better and wants to learn, wants to go from there. And then that was it. It was done. However, the video's still on, and I get people that I'll get a random post like, you're an asshole. Like just being like, what do you mean? I look on and they're like, oh, it's that video. They're butthurt. Yeah, a lot of butthurt people in the world. And so then I'll have to like say, no, blah, blah, blah. I've already, if you check the notes, if you check the description, it says, hey guys, I know some of you got angry. I'm going to go ahead and test it. Check my next videos. And I actually updated the description just to compensate for all the rage monsters out there. And I still get it. I still get it. So, yeah, so that's kind of the issue. So back to my original story. So all of your normal stuff, you know, like my videos typically do anywhere between, depending on the type of video, anywhere between, you know, 3,000 to 20,000. Okay. If I'm doing like tech reviews, I'll get anywhere between 7,000 to 20,000 views. Okay. If they're popular tech, I can get upwards of 30 to 50,000 views. If it's the gig logs do decent. They average somewhere between 5 to 10,000 views. My biggest one was the 80s one that I didn't make any money on because of Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time. And that one did like 25,000 views. Look, my gig logs have never been like a huge thing for me. Like, and it's funny because if you look at my gig logs, there was so much work put into those gig logs, like so much work. They used to take me like 2 to 3 days, and I have a whole playlist dedicated to gig logs. And I'll look at some of my older ones, and I'm like, this is actually one of my favorite gig logs. 400 views. You know, looking at something else, you know, 300 views. And these are like serious like cinematic videos. And then I go to like, you know, my first thoughts on on virtual DJ, 30,000 views. 30,000 views, and I do nothing but literally play through the thing from a first person perspective of the stuff. I'd never used the software, so I'm like, let me sit down and work through this stuff. And I'm like, this is crap. This is kind of cool. Well, this sucks. 30,000 views. And that's a 30-minute video. 30 minutes. When I did that video, I'm like, there's absolutely no way people are going to watch this video. Not for that long. They do. They watch that video. But my gig logs, I don't get any responses. Now, here's the thing. I love doing the gig logs when we had gigs. I love doing the gig logs. They're not very profitable for me. So I do them. People are saying, you choose to do things for money. No, I do those because I enjoy doing them. I have 2 more that I have to do. They're probably not going to get as many views, and I'm going to spend 2 days on them. But I like doing them, But the tech videos, the My Thoughts videos shocked me the most because I'm like, who's going to care that I'm just sitting here talking about some product? I don't even have it. I'm just reading the specs and giving my opinion on it. But, people like them. So I'm not complaining. Let's see if I have some instrumentals of my own stuff here. All right, so let's get back to the things here. I know I'm behind, guys. I'm sorry. Do I have DJ classes? DJ Teddy Bear asks. No, but I'm thinking about it. I'm honestly thinking about it. So hopefully, look, at some point, we all got to get creative on how we make money. A lot of us don't have day jobs. Like my DJing is my day job. So it is what it is. I'm trying to prevent myself from having to go out and go work at Walmart, because it's temporary. So I know that within another 6 to 8 months, I'm going to be working again. I already have all the clients booked. So it's just one of those frustrating things that we all go through. Okay. Yeah, no, Whoopie, you're right. You're right. And that's an option. That's definitely an option. But look, right now it is 10:36 and I have done nothing but talk. So the question was, would I be able to talk for, a 2-hour session? And I think we know the answer. DJ Alpha Music in the house. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Good to see you. Teddy Bear, I follow you. Oh, you're my favorite DJ being from Philadelphia. You rate with Jazzy Jeff. No, I do not rate with Jazzy Jeff. I appreciate the compliment, but yeah, don't put me in that box. I appreciate it though, but Jazzy Jeff operates on a completely different level. Now, I aspire to be Jazzy Jeff, but I'm not there. I'm not there at all. But thank you so much. Channel About Nothing. What is going on? Thank you, man. Hey, this is kind of what this is. This is the podcast about nothing. As I said before, tomorrow at 10 a.m., obviously the show will still start at the same time, but at 10 a.m., we will be having DJ Rachel Lynch, you know, Facebook and YouTube celebrity, DJ Rachel Lynch in the house, where we're going to chat it up for a little while. I keep trying to get Jay Book in the house, but, you know, he's too busy for me. And maybe we can get Barr on the line one of these days. I know Barr is like everybody's favorite dude, so maybe that's possible. We'll see. You know, I'm gonna text him right now. I have no idea what Barr. You know, here's a funny thing. Like, I know everybody's a DJ. I know everybody like has gigs on the weekend, but I have honestly no idea what everybody does besides like maybe Rick Webb. Like, I know Rick Webb has a day job. But besides that, I have no idea what anybody else does. I know Whoopig goes to the office. He's got a whole production company, but I have no idea. Like, does Barr have a job? Could you see Barr like working at like the Piggly Wiggly? Like, is that even a thing? Like, is that possible? I don't know that I can see Barr doing that. I'm trying to envision Barr working somewhere, and I could just see him like, oh man, I don't know, man. You know. And then you say something that offends him, and he's like, and he just like shuts down. Hold on, let me text him real quick. Let me text him. Hey, man. What are you doing? Want to get on a show? Knowing Barr, he probably won't even answer for like 5 days. All right, let's drop down here. Electrified DJ services. I buy my equipment based upon your reviews. Oh, thank you, man. That means a lot. Actually, that means so much more than you know. Because I do put a lot of work into them. I do research the hell out of them. I do try to be as impartial as possible. You know, because look, there's only so much impartiality you can have, because you do have your favorites. Everybody's got their favorite things that they like to use. But like, I still love to review product. I love reviewing gear. I'm the tech dude. I'm a tech nerd, you know, and it may not be like, you know, it's funny. I'm actually more than just a tech nerd. Like, I love DJ gear, but I also love like tech, like computers and phones and, you know, all the things related to electronics. Like, that's me. That's why I am who I am. I'm the gear guy. So it's very, very interesting. Let me see what this is. Oh, can't play that one. That one's bad. All right, this is another one. So the ones I'm playing in the background, these are all just my old productions that I happen to have on my computer. Okay. Kid Supreme, what is going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Chi-Town DJ Kiss. I'm just curious, DJ Kiss. Are you a man or a woman? Or what do you identify as? You know, it's so silly that I have to like think about that now. I can't just say, are you a man or a woman? Like, what do you identify as? Do you identify as a man, or do you identify as a woman? Or do you identify as like a lizard? Like, I don't even know anymore. Let's see what else we got here. Hey, look, Jay Book in the house. How are you going to be in the house and not be able to get involved on the calls? I'm just curious. Hold on, let me see. Oh, look, Barr wants to get on. Hold on, it's my cast. All right, so Barr will be he'll be our guest today, DJ Barr. It could have been Jay Book, but Jay ain't got time for me. I'm not gonna let that go, right, Jay? Unfortunately, like that's just gonna be your thing now. DJ Twin Spin in the house. What is going on, fam? Like, I know I'm delayed here. I'm trying to catch up. I'm like 20 minutes back on these things. How is it illegal? If you're talking about music, it's illegal because you don't have a mechanical license to broadcast. So it's always illegal to play somebody's music that you don't have a license to sorry, I'm looking at Jay's response right now. You don't have a license. So there's this whole misnomer from people that believe that, well, I bought the music. I went to the store and bought the CD, so it's mine. I own it. Like, why can't I play it now? But the fact is, you don't own it. You only purchased the right to play that music for personal use. The moment you introduce public to it, you no longer have the right to play that music. So if you have a performance license, like a nightclub, all nightclubs, all restaurants that play music have these performance licenses that allow them to have like live bands, live DJs, whatever. We don't have those, okay? And even if you did, there's a gray area between the online versus like, versus like a restaurant, okay? I don't even know where to acquire that one, but I know they exist. But just because you have the music, just because you bought it, just because you bought that song for 99 cents, does not give you any right to actually play that song. Okay? That's the facts. Phenomenal in the house. What's going on, fam? Melody in the house, 68. Thank you for the follow. Clamputer, Screaming Terry loud. I'll have to know why. I'll have to know why Terry's being screamed loud. Who are you? Because there's only one person I know that screams that way. Well, that pause. All right. BSE Music Group. Thank you, man. Appreciate you on that. Thank you so much. I just like I said, I'm trying to do something different here, and however it turns out is how it's going to be. But I'm just waiting on. Give me a few minutes and I'll log on. All right, so we're gonna have DJ Barr on. Like I said, Clamputer. I'm just delayed. I should probably put that on the thing. Actually, I will. Hold on. Let's see if that works. Come on, Caption, get up there. There we go. There we go. All right, so let's go back down this list here. Okay, so Phenomenal asks, what is Facebook threatening to do? They're not only are they banning DJ sets, but if you get hit enough times, they will kill your profile. So you will no longer be on Facebook. So all that stuff that you built up, maybe you got 1,000 people or 2,000 people or even 500 people, gone. You're back to zero, and you have to start a whole new profile. It's even if they let you back in, it won't be under that email. I can tell you that much. So that's the issue you're dealing with here. I'm a musician turned DJ. What do you recommend on how to build my song library? Well, money. money and time. So there's a couple of different options that you can do right off the bat. And that is, if you are get on a record pool, get on a couple of record pools, BPM Supreme, DJ City, pull all those in, and then you pay a monthly fee, and then you can download, as many songs as you want. So that'll at least allow you to get like a lot of the popular songs and maybe even some of the old school tracks, because I know BPM Supreme is really good about having like older music, even if they're allowed to do it or not. Some people would say they're not allowed to do it. Other people will say they are. So it just depends on how you look at it. But any of the record pools definitely have a lot of options there. Now, there's one, that's one thing. That's physical copies of the music. So now you own them, you have them. And then you can do streaming, but you don't have them. But as long as you're paying for that streaming fee, then it's available for you. So that's another way, a quick way to build up your library without having to buy, 5,000 songs. It's all time. Like everything I've ever built, my entire library has been built over decades. It's not something you can just say, okay, I want to be a DJ. Let me just go get, 5,000 songs. Now, does everybody need to have 5,000 songs? No. There's a lot of music that you can go to that's going to work across the board that you don't have to have every single song. That's where the streaming services come in, where if you don't have that song, you can just pull it down real quick. But you're going to have to buy some music. I'm not a fan of buying somebody's library. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, if you have a DJ friend that's like helping you and mentoring you, and he's like, hey, I've copied my hard drive to you, illegal stuff aside, legalities aside, I'm far more accepting of that than you just going on a Craigslist and buying somebody's 400 gig hard drive. And maybe this is the reason for it, because a lot of times if you have a mentor, if you have a guy that's like helping you and you're learning from, the music he's going to give you typically is stuff that works. If you just buy a hard drive full of music, first off, you might be getting bootleg copies of stuff. You might be getting crappy versions of them. Maybe they're Napster rips and they sound like crap. And there's a lot of reasons why you'd want to get like higher res copies. Like I've spent a lot of quarantine just going through some of my not streaming sites, but some of my DJ pools, record pools, pulling better versions of the songs that I didn't have before. So there's a lot of reasons why you would want to have a record pool or buy the songs and get the upper res files. Go to iTunes, get those, 192s or, the 384 resolution stuff. There's a lot of different options there. Okay. Okay. This is actually a very good one. I'm getting blocked on my video remixes. The audio mix seems to be allowed. First off, I'm going to ask you, what site is blocking you? Okay. But here's the thing. Video licensing. Okay. Playing videos online is actually a separate license. Mixcloud has been talking about this one for a long time now. They're like, no, when you DJ, you can DJ live. You can have the camera on you. You can do all the things you normally do, but don't play music videos like behind you, like a green screen. You got the videos playing. Don't play those videos because we don't have a license for that particular brand of streaming. So you're not actually allowed to stream music videos. Anybody that's doing it is even more illegal than the people just playing the music. So that's why you're getting blocked, because they're not allowed to do it. Videos will get you blocked everywhere. That's a whole different license, and I can guarantee you nobody has that license at all. All right. Yeah, I wish I could do that, J-Book. Unfortunately, they're another one that would definitely get me blocked. Hold on, let me throw this invite off to Mr. DJ Barr. So please hold for one moment here. Boop. Green screen. Don't want you seeing behind the. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. All right. Please hold down. There we go. That's better. Okay, we are back. Now, all right, so what I got on here right now, I do have DJ Barr in the green room right now waiting to get on. So before we do that, let me just check the chat one more time just to make sure we are good with the chat. I'm going to jump ahead for just a minute here. DJ Hitton says your reviews are on point with the gears with a question mark. So are you asking me if they're on point or are you telling me they're on point? You got to let me know that. I'm not really sure. Let's see. DJ Loco says, I appreciate your honesty on the S9. Hey, thank you. I have the S9. I still love the S9, but I'm a Range 70 guy at the moment until something better comes out. Now, if Pioneer comes out with a new mixer, S10, S47, if they do and it's dope, then hey, that's where I'm going to be. So I'm going to stick to where I am. Now I need to get my earpiece in so I can talk to Barr. So we're going to bring him on right now, but I do need to have my earpiece in. We are not testing. This is it now, Mr. Paris Paul. Make sure you follow DJ Paris Paul in the house. That's my man right there. Let me get onto my earpiece. All right, let's see if I can hear you. Can I hear you, Barr? Are you there?
I'm here, man. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you just fine. What is going on, pal? Good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you, man. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. Look, I've been trying. I had Whoopik on last week.
I saw.
Yeah, spare of the moment, but it was a dope conversation. I appreciated it. I originally tried to get Jay Book on, but the man has 47 jobs, so he's never able to get on. So I'm like, I don't even know if Barr works. Like, I'm not even sure what he does during the day. So that's why I wasn't sure. So that's why I'm asking.
I'm a full-time DJ and YouTuber, man. I live the life.
Okay. Yeah, so, man, that's the life we like to live. Oh, look,
yeah,
look.
Man.
You know what's funny? So Lady Beats has been my moderator like since I started this thing it's been like, this is the third week now, and she's been on, but then she got real busy and then she wasn't on. And then, I bring you on and look, Lady Beats is on now. It's like, she's just connected to you. I can't win.
Shout out to
right. It is what it is.
Shout out to DJ Lady Beats. She's always showing all the YouTubers some love, the DJ YouTubers.
Yes.
Big shout outs to her.
Yes, she does. I appreciate her. So tell me about, like, how has life been during quarantine? I know for a lot of people, they remember us from the Quarantine DJs, which I think we're trying to bring back at least one show at some point.
Yeah, people love that thing, man. I had no idea it was going to take off. Remember, we were getting crazy views on that.
Yeah. It's actually really, really impressive what we were able to do with that.
Yeah.
And then Barr got too confident and wouldn't do it with us anymore.
No, actually, speaking of whatever happened to Club Quarantine DJs, I blame CT, Woo Pig, and Brandon. They pretty much killed it because me, Rick Webb, J Book, and Barr, they were down every single weekend, and then you guys just kind of killed the vibe. You guys were like, "Not this week, guys. Next week," and then people just started bailing one by one, and I was like, "All right, I guess we're not doing it anymore." Also Eric was also one of the guys that was down every week. I think Eric was the most disheartened out of all of us.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, Eric, that was his thing. Eric looked forward to that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, look, you start to kind of run into things, especially when you're doing more and more stuff and you're trying to figure out how to, like, keep making money and keep doing stuff. And the next thing you know, people have stuff coming on. I was pretty much down. Like, I'm still to this day pretty down to do it. The issue is that, we just got to make sure everybody else is available. That's kind of the issue. Prima Donna. T Diesel says Prima Donna Bar.
Prima Donna Bar? What did I do? I was always down.
I don't know, man. I don't know. No, but you did have your moments where you weren't available. It happens. It happens to everybody. That was the problem. It was like 1 week you weren't available, and then the next week, Whoopik couldn't do it, and the next week, and it was always like, okay, we're always down somebody.
I mean, to be fair, the only person that I feel actually had an excuse was Whoopig. He's like, "Oh, I'm having a baby." I was like, "Okay,
yeah,
I'll let that one slide."
And even then, we were like, "So, are you sure you can't get on? Like, not for like 20 minutes?" Like, we were all selfish.
And then Rick Webb was like, "Yeah, I got a party on Saturday." I'm like, "Dude, it's Wednesday."
I know. That's totally Rick. And and that's another person. I haven't talked to Rick in a while. I know he's working because he works for like Ford or Chevy or something like that.
He works for Goodyear. Shout out to Rick. He got me new tires, so shout outs to that man. Did
he get you a good deal?
He got me a great deal, actually.
Did they fall off a truck?
Well, actually, my car's a lease, and I'm going to return this lease with better tires than what they gave me. So, shout outs to Rick, man. He really hooked it up.
So let's talk a little bit about your lease, because I didn't hear all the information, but from what I understand, you got into a little bit of a. Let me bring me back on here. You got into a little bit of an accident. What happened?
I did, man. So it was actually my first gig back after my gig. I hit something. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a pothole or some sort of ditch. It wasn't like a huge accident where I hit somebody. It was just my car hit something very hard. And dude, it like totally messed up the alignment, the axles. And I'm like, oh, okay, I just need a new alignment. But literally my steering wheel, I was driving like this, dude. Like my straight was like at 12 o'clock. So it was crazy. I was driving home like this, and this was like an hour drive. And I drove it home like that, which I think did more damage. And when I took it to the shop the next day, they were just like, this is not an alignment deal. You really messed this car up. And they're like, "Do you have coverage? Do you have full coverage?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is a lease, so I have full coverage." So they were like, "Yeah, this is like a $3,000 job you're looking." I was like, "What?"
Oh my god.
Yeah. So luckily, I went through insurance. I only had to pay my deductible, and I got that fixed. But yeah, man, it put me in a situation because if anything good came out of quarantine, it just like it got me to take a step. It got me to pretty much take a look at my finances and just be more picky with money. And and I was like just really cutting back, man. And for the longest, when I did my 2018, 2019 taxes, I was like, holy shit, like I made that much money. And then I'm like,
You're like, where is it?
Where is it? Where is this money? So, I started doing my finances, and I started Googling like how to get, I knew it was my debt that was just crushing me, because I was living like, oh, I can make this payment. I can afford this payment. I can afford this payment.
Mm-hmm.
So every money that I had just come, it was already assigned to something. So, during the quarantine, I just got real strict. Like, all right, let me find out where my money's going, tell my money where to go. So I started following Dave Ramsey during the quarantine, dude. And I got like out of so much debt. And I was like, wow.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I am almost debt free, which is crazy.
For real?
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
I paid off all my credit cards. The only thing now I have my lease and my I have no credit card debt. Now I just have my new truck, which I took out because, my lease, I'm like super under that thing. I like totally wrecked it.
Okay.
I put way more miles than I, it was just a bad deal because I took out like a luxury car for work, which was so dumb.
Right.
It was so stupid because I wrecked the interior, I ruined the interior. It's just, I know when I turn it back in, I'm going to be in for like a rude awakening where they're going to hit me with a nice little bill. But the reason why I got the truck is because I'm just like, all right, I have to start planning for when I return this thing. So I'm planning on, paying what I have left on this car and then just sending it back early because it's not due back until 2022. And I'm already over on the miles.
2022?
Yeah, dude. Because that was my workhorse, dude. That was my everyday car. That was my gig car. And I do 100 gigs, dude. So,
right. Yeah.
So
that might have been something you probably should have talked to somebody about before you bought.
Yeah.
But, we're all young. We all live the life. Every so often, like, I want this car. I haven't had a good car, so I want this car. And then you realize later on how dumb it was.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna be whipping my ProMaster for a while until I can just pay cash for my next car.
Okay.
Because after I turn in that lease, man, my only payment is gonna be the ProMaster, which I'm so excited, dude. I have no debt. It's awesome.
Now tell me, were you, because obviously you're kind of a single dude, you don't have any children or anything that you know of anyway.
Yeah.
I know. How did the stimulus and or unemployment help you? Were you able to use that stuff to kind of throw at it and bring down your debt?
I was. No, the thing is, I was never really stressing for money. The thing is, it's just like every time I got a check, it was going somewhere, It was never just like, this is my money. It was never just going to me. So with quarantine, I got a little scared. So one of the first big things that I did is I had my little money saved up, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't know how long this is going to last, so I'm just going to pay my rent 6 months advance. So I just sent my landlord like 6 months. Like I paid from March all the way to October. So my next rent is coming up.
Jesus.
So I just said, here you go, take my money, because I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. When I started getting all these cancels, I started getting nervous. I'm just like, holy shit. Biggest thing I need is just to cover my house. So I sent a huge payment to my landlord. I'm paid up till October. And then that's when things just started aligning for me. I'm just like, holy shit, every single dollar that comes in is going to some frivolous thing, and that was the thing. I was never struggling for money, but I always had payments. Wedding Wire, it just starts adding up. I canceled Wedding Wire, and then that was like such a huge relief, which I'm going to have to go back eventually, because another thing, again, I feel like quarantine was just good. It just put into perspective, like, how much am I relying on Wedding Wire and the not? And the thing is, leads aren't coming. I don't know if it's just to do with the quarantine or what, but leads are not coming in as they used to. But that's also because I'm not advertising. But I was able to take a step back because 2021 organically filled itself up since we didn't work 2020. So
everybody was moving their dates anyway. So yeah,
exactly. So a lot of 2021 filled up organically. So I'm just gonna ride it out till maybe summer, and then just figure out what I want to do as far as like getting back on advertising and just getting back into debt.
Right.
Yeah, but with the stimulus stuff and all that government money, it really got put to good use, man. Because I really depended on that, because that's how I was paying my bills. That's how I was paying the bills, and my club quarantine, my live streams, which now that I do them, they fail miserably. Just I did one this Saturday, and it was just like nobody was there. It was like night and day versus what it was like during the real quarantine.
Yeah, you know why? Because people are moving over to Twitch.
That's what I think Lady Beats was on my stream, and she was like, "Oh, Twitch," but I don't actively follow my thread when I'm DJing. But I was going back and I was just it was like people were like, "Oh, go to Twitch." But yeah, I just don't feel like building a new platform, and it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. You're right. But hey, you know what? I think that if you were going to build anything, now is the time to do it. Because I've been telling people left and right that it's not just about being a DJ on Twitch. It's also the connections. Like I've made so many connections just by being on Twitch. Yeah. And like throwing a comment into a chat like, "Hey, what's going on, everybody?" And then like the company's like, "Hey man, we'd like you to blah blah blah." Like I didn't have that before, you know, and it's just because everybody's on Twitch right now. I mean, you know, SEE is on all the time. Like,
really?
They're always on, dropping big dollars. Like they've been on my stream before. You know, SEE is on. Like they're all on. Everybody. Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of super dope DJs like on all the time. So it's hard not to be on because it's now like a radio station. You know, it's completely changed things. Yeah. Check. Mm-hmm.
What are the rules over there? Is it strict? How are they doing it?
The rules right now, there are no rules. It's almost like they're taking a blind eye. No, honestly, it's like it's so clear that they are not looking at it because so since you don't know much about Twitch, basically, you know, once you're on Twitch, you're nothing. Then once you get a certain amount of hours, certain amount of followers, certain amount of averages, then you become a affiliate. Yeah. Okay. That one's pretty easy to get. It's like 50 followers, average 3 people on your stream per stream for a 30-day rolling, and then have I think it's something like 8 hours of streaming, and then you're an affiliate. So that's super, super easy. Yeah. But then moving from affiliate to partner, you have to have the same stuff, but now you have to have like 25 hours in the month, and you have to have 75 people average on your stream in order to be a partner. So
do you have that?
I don't have that. No. Like even right now, I think right now, if it's funny, if you take all the places I'm streaming to, I easily get it. But because it's fragmented, where I have people on YouTube right now, and I got people on Mixcloud and people on Facebook, it's all fragmented. Like I think right now I have 50 viewers on Twitch. The other 42 are likely on YouTube. You know, just like that. So I'm trying to move people over, not because I want people to leave YouTube, because just like you, that's our bread and butter. We put content on YouTube. That's what we do for a living. But I want to make partner. So I need everybody that's on here to move over to Twitch for this, because this is where I'm kind of keeping this podcast going. So I'm still trying to figure it out, though, you know, because I don't really need this podcast for YouTube, and you know better than I do, the numbers start to mess with the rest of your numbers. So if you have low numbers and low views on this on YouTube, it's going to affect everything else. So, you know, it's a catch-22. It really is. Yeah,
I mean, I started a Twitch channel, but I started it for gaming. Okay. Yeah, so during the quarantine, I started gaming. So I actually have a gaming setup back there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I started streaming. I got my mic. I got my camera. So it's been fun. I was doing a little bit of the gaming. It's funny how which is kind of the reason why I kind of bailed. Dude, I was getting so much hate for starting this YouTube channel. Everything would be like, "Where are the DJ videos?" So I kind of just ended up bailing. I just kind of ended up bailing on it. My audience, the audience is assholes, man. They're fucking jerks.
They can be.
They're jerks.
You know, I find, in all honesty, I find so much more hate on YouTube than on Twitch. I rarely ever see any bad comments on Twitch.
Really?
Like, it's one of those things, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. So people just won't say anything. But on YouTube, everybody is a bedroom DJ that knows more than you do. So they're quick to be like, "Oh, I see that. That was a mistake." Like, they don't do that on Twitch.
Well,
at all.
Well, here's the thing. the thing is, you're probably now experiencing it too, because when you're starting out, it's all positive vibes. But once they see that number, they feel like you're just like, oh, he has so many followers, so many subscribers that he's never gonna read this. So that's when the hate starts coming on. Because when I had my first 1,500, when I was like floating, like anything past 10,000, that's when like the real hate starts coming in. People are just like ruthless. They'll say anything to you. But when you're like hovering around 1,000, 5,000, it's all positive. It's all love. Everybody's like, yeah, you're an underdog. But once you start crossing over that 10K mark, man, it's just like, it's all fair game. They're just like, oh, this guy's quote unquote famous. So they'll just like fucking wreck you, But that comes with the numbers. And I'm assuming it's the same with Twitch. Like once you start getting bigger, they're just like, oh, he's never going to read this. Let me just come at this guy,
And it might later on. But I'm telling you, like right now, everybody's about the love. Like it's all just DJs supporting other DJs. Yeah. And like, even if like there's just one dude, there's just one dude on here that's like, he's just MC2J, man. He's just like a bedroom DJ, like legitimately a bedroom DJ. Like literally his setup is his stuff, and right behind him is his bed. Like there's no way around that. Yeah. But he supports everybody. So because he supports everybody, they all support him. And even because like I've been on streams where people are making mistakes left and right. You look at the chat, nobody says anything.
Really?
It's so bizarre. Yeah, and it's just like, hey man, hey, don't worry, you get it next time. Like everybody's like your mom, like watching you play Little League. It's so funny.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny that you say that, because one of my biggest things why I never wanted to do a live stream was because of that. I was so scared that it's like one little mess up, they were gonna come at me. And not to brag or anything, but I land like I would say like 90% of my mixes land, which is pretty good. Because I'm really anal about the way I mix. I don't do anything fancy, but I follow the rules, so my mixes generally land. But bro, when I mess up, I hear it, man. And I'm just like, man, you guys don't say anything to anybody else. Like I've seen some wrecks, dude. I've seen some train wrecks, and me and you have actually seen some train wrecks, bro.
Yeah.
But and I'm like, no, nobody says anything. If I do that shit, I hear it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that completely. It's funny because like, I even had one dude where I was DJing across the board, and I had done a Matrix themed Twitch feed. So everything was like Matrix. I green screened the whole thing. Yeah. And anytime like you would move to a different scene, like I'm in the computer or I'm in the sunglasses or whatever. But because it's Matrix, Matrix has kind of like a drum and bass style vibe to it and everything. So that's basically where I was going with it. And then only on YouTube, not on Twitch. Everybody on Twitch was like, oh my God, this is so dope. This is such a cool experience. But then on YouTube, it's like people like, why don't you play anything new? Why are you playing this stuff? I don't know, this like just angry. And then like, I called him out. I'm like, look, man, this is not for you today, And then he went through like 6 of my videos and just talked mad shit the whole time. So I think I might have blocked him. I blocked him. It was like my first block, because I don't need to see that. I see Isaiah Bowen's in the house. What's going on, fam? My son literally walked into the room. He's on here with me too, DJ.
That's all. I see you guys do the Saturday thing too.
Yeah. The Saturday thing is dope. We love the Saturday thing. It's been real cool for both of us to kind of connect more. It's been dope, and he's getting so much better. So it actually helps too. Like his transition. Like I think I said this to you even when we first started quarantine. Like if you're not getting better as a DJ during quarantine, then you just suck as a DJ.
Yeah.
There's no like middle ground.
It's so funny that you said that, because when I was doing my club quarantines, I did 15 weeks straight. So my first gig back, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to fucking rock out. Because I've been practicing. And then I realized that what I was doing was back to my club days when I was doing club quarantine. It was a very clubby atmosphere. And then I'm back at weddings. I'm like, damn, this shit's not working. Let me pull up Uptown Funk again. Dude, I was getting into like my hip hop, my like reggaeton. I was getting like into all that. I was into all the new stuff, man. And then I go back to doing weddings. I'm like, damn. Where's that
That's
Earth, Wind, and Fire?
hilarious. Right? Yeah. No, it's funny because, that kind of happened to me. I haven't done a lot of gigs, but I actually do have one this Friday. I'm doing a gay wedding, so that should be super dope.
Yeah.
But the one I did before that, I'm sitting there like, first off, they're like, well, we want a whole bunch of rock and this. I'm like, well, this is actually easy because when you're DJing now, you change the vibe so much that you can do like a all rock. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now, yeah, you do find yourself falling into the trap of like, well, they're going to like this because it's dope versus they just want to hear what they want to hear. Like, where's my Uptown Funk? Where's my celebration? Where's all that stuff? And you don't do that when you're DJing for Twitch or for YouTube because they're all DJs. They don't want to hear that stuff. Although, go ahead.
No, it's funny because, when I first started doing my live streams, dude, I hated it. I remember talking about it on our live streams. I hated it, dude. Because I have real thin skin. Like, anybody, like, you say the littlest thing to me, you're blocked. Like, you should see my block list on YouTube, dude. Because, like, I have really, really, really thin skin. Like, just the littlest thing will just, like, block. Like, I'll just block people all day just because I have, like, super thin skin. But man, now that I'm not doing it, I miss it. I never guessed that I was like enjoying it. I miss it. I miss that interaction.
And that's the funny thing because like and this is the only reason why I keep harping on Twitch versus YouTube.
Yeah.
Because first off, it's like a family environment. Everybody just wants to support everybody. And then when you raid people, like you're going to be gaming, so you're going to start raiding other people. That raid gives you so much extra clout because now you're supporting other DJs. The DJs that are already in there see you. They give you, my son's like, no, not for me. They give you props for doing the raid. And next thing you know, those people are following you. And then it just becomes this whole big thing. You know what I mean? But, it's interesting to me that you say you have thin skin. I mean, that's going to be so hard because what's your subscriber count now on YouTube?
I think I'm at 55.
Okay, so you're at 55,000 people.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, you would think that you'd just be like, you know what? I'm over it. Like, I've developed thicker skin because I've had to deal with this since 20,000 followers. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I mean, going back to what I was saying, I mean, I have real thin skin as in I'll block people. I mean, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Mm-hmm. Like, but I'm just like somebody would be like, oh, that was a little off or something like that. I'm just like, oh, blocked, bye. Tell me what to do. You go do it. Like in my head, the way I think things is just like, if you could do a better job, then why don't you do it?
Yeah, no, you're right. That's actually funny.
No, you know what's funny? I remember when we used to do the streams. People would be like, oh, I think Barr has me blocked. And I would block people all day, bro. Block people.
And I think the difference is once you get to a certain amount of followers, like if you have to block 100 followers, you still got 50 more thousand that you have. You know what I mean? Like when you're younger, we have smaller numbers. You're always like, it's almost like you think that like they're gonna go talk bad about you to somebody else and bring you down, but that's not even real life. One person is one person on YouTube. There's no impact. Now have you seen any videos? Because I haven't, and I haven't really searched for them. But like, have you seen any videos where somebody said something about you, like made a video about you? Has anybody ever done that? Because you're pretty high.
I have, but they've generally been positive. Any videos that I've been talked about, where I feel like most people talk like most shit about me, which is kind of why I hate Facebook, is like Facebook. Like my name gets thrown around in groups a lot, and I hate it, dude. Like I hate, like don't anybody watching right now, don't ever tag me on Facebook stuff because it's just gonna ruin my day because I can't do anything about it. Like if somebody tags me in a group, I'm just like, fuck, I can't even block this. I can't leave it. So it's just, that upsets me. Like I hate being tagged on Facebook shit, dude. But I feel like when most people talk shit about, especially like the DJs, like us DJs on YouTube, we get like, they talk down on us a lot in those Facebook groups. I don't know if you've noticed.
They do. Yeah. It's funny because I was actually having a conversation yesterday about somebody that was like, I don't like when followers equal expertise.
I saw that. I saw that post.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, well, okay. But, some people have numbers because they have numbers, because they're good at what they do. You can't just say because somebody has a lot of followers that that they don't know what they're talking about. It's a hard situation to be in. But also, people, it's not like, for instance, you have 50,000 followers. It's not your fault you have 50,000 followers. You're clearly doing something right, and your numbers reflect it. So it's like, you can't get mad at somebody because they have a number of followers. And then let's say, for instance, you decide, hey, I want to talk about this product to my people. And maybe you don't get into like the super intricacies of the product, but it doesn't mean that it's invalidated. You know what I mean? Like, you still have a right to make that video. So I take it with a grain of salt, because it's real easy to make things real personal. I have found, because, all we have is our word. And if we don't have our word, then it's like, we're nothing, so I get it. I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah.
I had mine from Red, from what Brian S. Red, when he
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember he did a video.
And for anybody that doesn't know, so I have a video that's my No Whole Songs video. I have a No Whole Songs emote that people will post on there because I fly through music. Yeah. So if you have my emote, throw it up in the chat on Twitch, guys. But I did a video and I said, hey guys, don't play whole songs. Nobody wants to hear the whole song. Stick to around 2:30 if you're going to do it. Jump around, set up cue points, move forward if you need to. All of those things in it. And he saw the video, and instead of even coming to me, he just literally posted a response video to it. Doesn't mention my name, doesn't say who I am, just starts talking trash about me on this video. And I'm just like, okay, I'm okay with you disagreeing with me, but say my name. Yeah. Because people were like, oh, I know who you were talking about. That's not who he meant. That's not what he meant. Blah, 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 on his stream. And then I even came back on. I'm like, hey man, I think you might have misinterpreted. And I tried to clarify a little bit. Yeah. Do the respectable thing. Be nice. Yeah. And he didn't even respond to me. He didn't even respond. And I was like, well, that's a bitch move now. Like, we can't be friends now because you're a bitch to me.
You were looking for YouTube beef, man.
But I wasn't even trying to. If you know what I mean? And I almost did a video. I almost did another video. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. He can do what he wants to do. Yeah. I know people know him and whatever. It's okay.
You know what? That's funny. I've never really had any issues as far as YouTube drama goes. Most of my drama that I have had has always been on Facebook. And it's always just people tagging me on shit, bro. I'll have nothing to do with it, and then they'll just tag me, and they'll be like, well, Barr, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Now you should do what I stopped, because I was starting to get that now. The people tagging me on stuff. Yeah. I just turned off my tag. I
could do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Dude, I was borderline about to close. I'm like, how do I turn off messages from people? How do I turn off tags? At one point, I'm just like, I want to have my Facebook just so I can scroll and still manage my accounts, but I don't want to be tagged or be contacted. I want to be unseen.
That's hilarious. Yeah, if you go into your settings, and it's your security settings, you can change. It says approve anything that I'm tagged in. So now I'll get it, and then if I don't want to do it, because I was getting people that were trying to promote their own stuff off of me, oh hey, I'm DJing this Twitch, blah blah blah. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that.
I didn't know we could do that.
Yeah. So now, and for the most part, I have people tweak music tips. They'll tag me in it. I'll accept that. My wife has to. I have to accept my wife's stuff now too. She'll be like, yeah, I'm with the kids. I'm like, oh shit, let me say yes to that. Yeah, man. But everybody else, hey man, all bets are off. Stop. And it's not me being an ass, but it's it's my page. I should be able to do what I want on my own page.
Yeah, same man. Same man. Yeah. But I've been lucky, man. As far as YouTube goes, I have people disagree with me all the time or belittle me, but I don't know. I got to a point, maybe it's just arrogance on my part. I'm just like, whatever. I have 50,000 subscribers. I'm probably in the right. But at some point, I realized at some point, it's not so much that they're following you because because of what you say or your opinions. They follow you because of who you are, which I am so lucky that,
Right.
like, I can honestly say that the people watch my videos because they're coming to see me.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure because my views are pretty consistent throughout videos. They don't really dip. Like, I know what works and what doesn't work, but for the most part, I would say, like, I know, like, there are regulars that just come to my videos, and there are some guys that are a million times better than me that don't need my help, that just come and watch just because they want to, like, they more or less just want to hang out. Like, I feel like the way I structure my videos is more or less like I'm telling you a story of what's going on as far as, like, my life. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be anything insightful, which is I think one of the biggest issues why I rub people the wrong way as far as, like, Facebook goes. It's just because I'm not out there trying to teach. I'm just telling people the way I do things, and people don't like that, I guess.
People don't. People don't. Especially if you go against what they know to be, like, true.
Especially if you go against the norm.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I think I'm a lot like that. Like, I give opinions based upon experience, and because I'm giving it based upon a certain area, like, you're New Jersey, New York.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm LA. So we are going to be a different style of DJ than somebody in the Midwest. You know what I mean? And it's okay, because I have noticed, especially, I noticed it first when we started going live, and a lot of the DJs were going on, and I was like, that's a lot of remixes. Like, there's a lot of mashups. Like, you can't do that stuff in LA. Yeah. Like, they will laugh you off the dance floor if you try that stuff. So I was like, okay, that's just the style there. And now that I've been watching more and more, like, it is legitimately the style. There are certain people that's all they do are mashups. And I get it. Like, you want to be different. Yeah. You want to try something new. You don't want to play We Are Family, the original. You need to play We Are Family, the trap version, for some reason.
There's a trap version of that? I'm like, well, I'm not surprised, actually.
So it's like, so I get it. But at a certain point, you got to be able to DJ real music. Because you're going to run into places where they're like, no, we want to hear play the original. That's what we like. Yeah. We don't know this version. So I think if some of the remixes just change the soul of the song, and when it does that, it's all bets are off.
I agree. I'm the same way about that. Like, for me, when I'm looking for remixes, I'm looking for a bit more of a kick or like a punch to it, but I don't want it to rob it of its soul, of its integrity, more or less. And exactly. I'm very I remember, like, in 2012, 2013s, that's when, like, EDM was, like, very, like, prominent. It was almost like top 40 back then. Right. And everything was just getting turned into an EDM song. It doesn't matter, whatever song came out, it was just an EDM version. But I always hated when like, it robbed it of its soul. Like, whenever if it was like a song that was at 100 BPM and then they turned it into an EDM song that was at 128, like, I still wanted to hear at somewhat of the melody in that new version. Because that's what people like. They once they and if you do clubs, you'll get, like, feedback. They'll look at you dirty. They're like, what did you do? You'll get that dirty look. But I also, because of my YouTube channel, I've been lucky. I've gotten to travel and DJ other places, and I know shit is different, dude. So now I'm just like, I take a step back now. Like, now I'm just like, you know what? It's different there. Like, I remember when I first started my YouTube channel, I'd be like, oh, don't do the line dances thing. Don't do this. Don't do that. But then I started traveling, and then I'm like, it's different here. It's not the same as it is over there. So just because I think you shouldn't do that doesn't mean it's right. So I kind of had to bring myself down back to earth and just kind of humble myself and just kind of understand that things are different.
Yeah. Who does that now? God, what is his face? Nick. Yes. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, Nick is the king of controversy right now. Yeah. And I get it. It helps get people to it.
It does, but it also hurts you. Like, no offense to Nick, but like, once you start traveling, you kind of change your perspective on things. You're just like, okay, it really is different here. Because I know if I were to do, like, a Jersey set, like, somewhere in, like, the fucking middle of the country, like, Hillbilly Central, they're gonna look at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, no offense to them, to whoever's in the middle of the country, by the way. I'm not calling you guys hillbillies.
There's a lot of people in the middle right now. You just offended half the crew here.
No, I love them. God bless America. This is the greatest country on earth. So, just because we California, New York, New Jersey, not that we pay for y'all, but just saying, taxes are tough around here. No, but
remember,
in all seriousness,
the views of Barr do not represent Cleveland Terry.
No, but just remember, it is different. It is different. I will say
it is.
So I respect that it. Other guys do it different, and my way might not work somewhere else. And it's just facts.
And that's for sure. And I think that's kind of the key, because what I found, like even in California, there are different regions that legitimately will become more and more, I call conservative DJing. So, when you go back to conservative DJing, to me is like, we play chicken dance. We are family. There's a lot of line dances, all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you move more into like LA and Calabasas, where like the new money is and everything. And everything's like super trap and remixes and all that stuff. So you're like they're listening to like SoundCloud artists. They're like, play that song from blah, blah, blah. But when I move from Calabasas and I go down to Orange County, I should be able to adjust to it. And that's my only thing. Like, I will watch some people and it's like, okay, I know that in the Midwest or whatever, that this is the style. But what happens if you have to go somewhere else? Can you adjust to that other thing? And that's always been my thing. It's like, you got to be able to move and change your whole style if you need to. Yeah. So I can go as hard as I need to and go back as cheesy as I need to and still be okay. And I feel like... Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely right, dude. Exactly what you're saying is like what I preach. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I'm not the world's greatest DJ. It's just facts. Like, there's guys that can do way better. But one thing I can do is I can read a crowd and I can adjust to every situation. Yes. And that's a special skill. Like, because I know a lot of guys that are like nasty with turntablism, but you put them in front of a crowd and they're like, shit, what the fuck do I do? Like, I'm lost. But I've always been pretty good at just adapting to like different crowds. And it's more or less just me like being ballsy. And like, for example, this weekend I just got thrown into a Turkish party, all Turkish music. I'm just like, all right, here we go. Let's do it. Let's go for it.
You probably did a lot more EDM, because any international crowd loves EDM.
Well, I did a lot of the Turkish stuff, but I did my research. I went to Spotify. I texted friends. I'm like, hey, what are some hits, some dance floor openers? Because I know the way to structure a dance floor. Like, I open up with a banger, and then I just kind of follow it up like with not so big bangers. But it worked out. It's part of the game. You just have to be able to adapt to different situations. That's honestly what'll make you a bigger DJ.
Oh, you got a client calling.
Nah, that's my alarm.
It's like at 11:35. Make sure the alarm goes off. Oh, hey Terry, if this thing sucks, I got to go, man. That's my phone. That's my phone. I got to get out of here.
How long have you been doing this, man? This because I've been seeing it here and there. I didn't realize this is an everyday thing.
Every day, yeah. I've been doing this Monday through Friday. Yeah, wow. I might. I might remove Friday from the mix, not because I can't do it, but because I feel like everybody, there are certain Twitch days, okay, where everybody tends to go on. And that's like, everybody goes on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays. Like, those are big days. So I've been looking at my Friday numbers and I'm like, they're just lower than I like them to be. Plus, I do Tweak Music Tips every month on Friday. So with Mojax. So it's like, I don't necessarily want to have to like cut it. So I'm still working on that. But yeah, Monday through Friday, typically nine-ish till like, I typically do like a 2-hour set. Like right now we just hit 2 hours. This is the first time I've done it without music, because I'm trying to be able to turn it into a podcast. So I can't have commercial music, playing. Yeah. And I wasn't sure I was going to be able to talk for 2 whole hours. And apparently it's not that hard for me.
You've been able to pull 2 hours?
Yeah, I guess I like to talk. Terry awesome. Talks. That's why I have an emote called Terry Talks. So if you're looking at Twitch, it'll start to pop up. So besides that, I mean, obviously, financially you're doing well, and I'm actually going to review the guy you said, because I didn't even know about him, so I'll check him out. Now, I'm a little different because I have an entire family that leeches off me. So I don't have the opportunity to be able to take that money and like, you know, put it other places.
You've never heard of Dave Ramsey, dude?
No,
Really?
no.
Really?
Yep. And you know what? And maybe I have. Is he young?
No, he's an old school guy, dude.
Yeah,
He's like from
but I haven't
Tennessee. Like he talks like Hank Hill from King of the Hill. He's like these vehicles. These vehicles you guys are drowning in these vehicle debts. He's like, you know, it's funny because one of my hobbies that I never really shared is I love collecting credit cards. I think I've shared.
I'm sorry. What do you
but,
mean collecting credit cards?
Like I love the hobby of just like messing around with your credit score. There's like a whole world of like people messing with their credit score, collecting credit cards, and Dave Ramsey is like totally against it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, for me, it was kind of weird, but, you know, he does make points. But for me, I just like it's a hobby. So, you know, I've been doing credit card, like collecting for like 8 years. So I have tons and tons of credit card and like my score is fucking awesome. Cause I'm very like every day I wake up, one of my morning routines is check my credit score. It's just every day I do it, look for credit card deals. And Dave Ramsey is just like, cut up all your credit cards. I'm like, damn, dude, I got a lot. I can't. But he did, man. I followed a lot of his practices, and I learned a lot. You know, I don't follow the credit card one too much just because that's a hobby of mine. But his thing is like, you know, cut up all your credit cards, never, ever, ever take out a debt in your life. And like, I plan to live on that, like never taking out debt. But my credit cards, I was always like, you know, buy something, pay it off. But then when I started building the business, I just kind of got a little sloppy because I just like, with just things coming on, I accumulated debt. And I was like,
you needed to buy them. Exactly.
Yeah.
I get it.
But you know, once I got out of that, like I just got out of it 2 weeks ago. It's just been no credit card debt. And it's like such a relief.
Yeah, I had that. I legit had that until we hit quarantine.
Yeah.
Until we hit quarantine, and all of a sudden I was like, okay. And like, you know, like I said, for you, stimulus check, that's great. For me, like that doesn't even pay like my mortgage. You know what I mean? So it's like, so now I'm like having to like, okay, figure this out. My unemployment, I'm still fighting. Haven't gotten a dime from unemployment yet. So it's just a lot of little things for me. Cause I was like legitimately like debt. Like I had my Apple card that I use, but it was basically like, you know, $500 on it on the balance. So it wasn't a big deal. And then life ended, you know? Yeah. So it happens. Yeah. So I'm not like, you know, I don't want to be that guy that's like, it is what it is.
Yeah. No. And that's why like I kind of got organized. Like I told you, like before I found that guy, Dave Ramsey, I was never to say I was struggling for money. That was never a thing. Like I've been lucky, you know, I've always had work. And it's funny because, you know, we're DJs. So, and I feel like kind of insulted, but I'm sure you get this because you're a full-time DJ. Whenever I tell people I'm a DJ, they're like, oh, so what do you do like full-time? Like that's your side thing, right? I always get kind of offended. I'm like, no, that's my job. Even my parents, dude, my parents sometimes say like, oh, when are you going to college and, you know, get a job? I'm just like, do you know how much money? Like I like look. Do I have to show you my taxes? Right. Like I'm good. Yeah. Like I'm good. Like even if I went to college, I don't think I would be living like the way I do. But like I said, I was making good money when I was doing my taxes every year. Really when 2018, 2019 hit, that's when I'm like, dude, where the fuck is this money? Like this is good money. And it was just like I started following Dave Ramsey, and he was just like, you're living on payments. Like you just start agreeing to shit. You're just like, okay, yeah, I can definitely afford a $200 payment. I can definitely afford a $300 payment. I can definitely afford a $500 payment. And you just start living on payments that once your money comes in, it's already assigned to something. You know, you're just like, you're sending money over there. You're sending money over here. Everything already has a name written on it before it even arrives to you. And that was like what I needed to clear up. Like I just needed to figure out, okay, like I need to get structured to where I'm telling my money where to go, not my money telling me where it's gonna go, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's curious though, because like, as you said it, you know, your mom's like, oh, you know, what do you need something else? The number one thing that drives me nuts is when people say like this COVID has been like the easiest way for people to be dicks about DJs, you know? Well, maybe it's time you got a real job then. Yeah. Like that's like the common thing that I've seen across the board. Yeah. Like, well, get a real job. You can't expect to do this for blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's still a career. It's still what we're making. Like I make good money.
Yeah.
This isn't like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not working at, Costco. Like I'm
Yeah.
actually making quality money here.
Yeah.
And people don't want that because it's too easy for them.
Yeah.
Because in their minds,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you're just a DJ. You DJ
Yeah.
at night. Like you don't do anything. You just sleep all day. Like no. Like we have to get up. We have to talk to clients. We have to do administrative stuff like normal offices, normal business people do. You know what I mean? And it's so frustrating when I see that.
Yeah, dude.
Because like even
that's stigma, man. I can't shake it off. It happens all the time. And then they're just like, oh, so what do you do during the week? You just sit at home? I'm just like, dude, I always feel like I have something to do. Like I've never feel like there's nothing to do.
You can always, whether it be calling clients, emailing clients, trying to get new leads, working on your website. Like there's always something.
Yeah, when you're self-employed, it's like
yes.
And one of the things that I do not like about being self-employed is that I always feel on the edge. I'm just like, oh shit, like when's my next picture coming? Like I'm always a little bit on edge. But I also I see everybody complain about their jobs, dude. And I'm just like, I'm so happy. Like I never complain. Like I love my job. And
I complain a little bit. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Because
I love my job, but like I said, the only thing that I don't love is that I don't have security. Like I feel like one day it could just be all gone. I'm just like, so I'm always on edge. I'm always like, I'm gonna go broke.
March 13th. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
I complain about people because I deal with I am the salesperson. I'm kind of everything. Salesperson, tech guy, DJ. So I talk to all the clients, and every so often, you get clients that are just either assholes or overbearing, and you're just like, I wish I could just not answer the phone sometimes. Yeah. But for me right now, the whole thing is legitimately people postponing or canceling and trying to get my money back or whatever. Yeah. It's those calls are exhausting. Yeah. It's so much energy to do that. And during the first, I don't know, maybe not the first month, because first couple of months, people were cool. Yeah. Okay. Postpone my date. Postpone it to August. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. Don't postpone it to August. Postpone it later than that. No. August is good. We'll be out of this by then. And I'm just like, okay. And everything was fine. People postponing August, October 21, whatever. And then you started getting to later on. And now you're in the 4th month and 5th month. Now people are like, okay, we're not going to have it. Give me my deposit back. Yeah. And I'm just like,
those are gut punch.
Yeah. And then you start thinking okay, well, there's times to give money back, and there's certain times you're like, well, no, I'm not going to give you your money back because, and I'm only talking deposits. I'm not talking final balances. That's a different story altogether. But if somebody has a party booked for December and they're like, we don't know if it's going to happen. We want to cancel. We want our deposit back. That's the whole point of a deposit to prevent you from canceling just out of a whim.
Again, our industry is just just not respected, dude. It's just we're just the scum of the earth to people. Mm-hmm. Because I was dealing with the same thing, man. I'm like, well, why did I even take a deposit if I have to give it back? That's literally the whole point of you giving me a deposit is for me to be secured that I'm gonna work that day.
Exactly.
Yes,
that date is full.
Yeah. What would be the point of taking a deposit if I'm just gonna have to issue them back? And it's just dude, people don't understand. It's just the whole DJ, and I feel like the whole entertainment industry, unless you're a celebrity, you're just a laughing stock. You're just oh, that's just your little hobby. That's just a little hobby, Yeah. And going back to what you were saying, dude, I was in a Facebook group chat. And I remember I checked in when my unemployment ended. I just checked in with everybody. I was like, hey, everybody, just want to check in with everybody. What are you guys doing? My unemployment just ended. So I'm just trying to figure out, what should I be doing? What are you guys doing? And then these same motherfuckers that are DJs, dude, they start saying, oh, you weren't prepared. This is why this COVID is testing your business, and you obviously weren't prepared. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm asking you what you guys are doing now that it's over. And it's this whole COVID thing. Nobody can be prepared for something like that. Nobody can just be like, stop working, there's no
Stop
deadline
working for 5
Yeah.
months. Stop working for
No,
5 months, and
the worst thing,
you weren't
the
prepared
worst thing
for
is
5
that
months.
the worst thing is that there's no deadline. Like you can be like,
Yes.
okay, stop working for 6 months. You can be like, okay, I have a 6-month reserve. I can figure out what I'm going to do with my cash. There's no end. There's no like the finish line is right there. So for somebody to say like, oh, you weren't prepared. This is testing your business. This is why you guys need to get more organized with your business. I'm like, dude. There's no end. There's no fucking. You can't tell a business stop working. I'll let you know when you can work again. That's fucking crazy, dude.
And this is coming from the same businesses, super large businesses that took millions and millions of dollars in government stimulus that they didn't even need. You get what I'm saying? It's like yes, if the government actually took care of small businesses, this wouldn't be a thing because all the corporations have made good money off of this thing. Yeah, you know, so it's like it's stupid. It's a double standard, dude. I don't know why.
And I didn't even apply for any of those, dude. I got my unemployment. And I'm just like, this is enough. I'm gonna make it work. I didn't apply for nothing because, like I told you, I was following that guy Dave Ramsey. He's like, those loans, they're not free. There's no way they're gonna give you free money. So I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna listen to you. It's not free money, so I'm not gonna apply. So I'm just like, all right, let me just take my unemployment. I paid into that. It's my right. It's my benefit. You know, I've been paying into it, so I might as well use it. But I didn't apply for any loans, dude. And it's just like, I've been depending on that unemployment. But once it was over, you know, it's just like, all right, what's up? Well, let me see what other people are doing. And for people, go ahead.
We applied for a couple. But they were
Did you get them?
But they were all, we did get them, but they were all small amounts because they're all based upon employment. Employment is how you get the money. So for us, our employees last year were 1099. They weren't forced to be W-2s for California, and this is only a California thing until 2020. So when they went back to look at our loans, they're like, well, your dollars are low because you don't have any employees. It's just you and your partner. Yeah. So we ended up getting less, even though our actual money out was huge. But we were paying 1099s. Yeah. So it actually backfired on us, to a degree.
Yeah, and I've been following that. California is like super against like subcontractors, right? They don't like you guys doing that because Ubers and Lyft are fucking like having a nightmare over there.
No, they legitimately hate everything that's going on with independent contractors. They now put in if the governor signs it, there's some small caveats to specific types of workers. Like artists and like copywriters and obviously the most important one was the sign language people, because that was the thing that people were like, what the fuck? How are they working? Are they W-2'd? Are they independent contractors? And that was like a big thing because people couldn't understand what was going on. So there is legislation right now that Gavin Newsom's probably going to sign that is going to open up some areas, but it still doesn't fix
I thought that was
specifically.
I thought that was done with though. I thought they already pulled out. Do you guys still have Uber and Lyft there, or it's done? Well,
I mean, they're there, but yeah, they as Paris said, they may pull out. They're waiting on this I think they're waiting for the election because I think there's new stuff being introduced that we have to vote on. So if the vote doesn't pass, then they might pull out, which is understandable. You know, there's a lot of states in the United States. So, like, I would legitimately want to start my business in Vegas, and then just pay all the Vegas stuff because right now it sucks in California. It's always been a bad place to run a business, like always. Yeah. But now they're literally taking away everything. They because they don't want to make it hard for themselves. It's so much easier for the EDD to say, well, everybody's an employee. So if you are an outlier, I can just go after you.
Versus, why are they so against? Who's leading the forefront of this? Is it the Uber drivers?
No. You mean who's against it? It's
who wants this though? I feel like one of the benefits to Uber and Lyft and those and even Esthesia is the fact that you can work and go do your own thing. It's like more of a side thing, which kind of makes sense to be a 1099 versus a W-2 employee. So like who's asking for this? Like who's asking to be put on W-2? It's
Nobody. The issue was
nobody. They just woke up one day and was like, "Oh, stop that."
Yeah, because you can tell by the outcries of what's happening. You see, the issue is all the EDD, okay? Because that's what I was just about to say. So with the EDD, once you designate what you are and the people you bring on, so you bring these people on, they're 1099s. The EDD has to audit every business to see if their 1099s actually qualify for being a 1099 employee. Okay. So that's so much more work, and they can't find people unless, like, we had one outbreak where a employee of ours decided to try to file for unemployment, even though she was a 1099. And she said, "Oh no, I'm an employee. I do all these things." So the EDD was like, whoa, hold on. If you do all these things, then you really are an employee. And then they came to us and were like, "No, she's not an employee. She doesn't do any of these things." And then we got audited because of it. Now, once you get audited, all these things become gray areas to them. Okay, so we went audited, we went to court, and basically they're like, well, because even though the client hires them, even though the client sets the time, sets the date.
This was this year that you got audited?
Last year, you know. And technically it was our old entity. We have a new entity now. But even though that's happening, because you tell them what to do, because you can say, "I need you to do this," they should technically be employees. It was some weird, stupid gray area because the judge was like, "No, I completely understand. This makes sense. But because you tell them what to do, they should be an employee." So here's the thing. That was a huge legal thing to jump through, all for us to be screwed. But if they say, no, every single employee is a W-2. You have to prove to us why they should be an independent contractor. That takes all the work off their plate. Now it's just a few people here and there that they have to audit. Everybody else is just an employee. So now the workforce drops. So now it's so much easier for them. So that's why, because every time this lady, I know it was in the chat, Lorena Gonzalez, she's the one that's been pushing this, and she's on Twitter all the time. Like, you see, guys, if you weren't an independent contractor, you'd get insurance, you'd get all these things, you'd qualify for all these things. But as an independent contractor, you don't qualify. So, for instance, when COVID hit, she was the first to be like, well, it's because, aren't you glad you're not a 1099 in 2020? Now you can get unemployment because you're a W-2. And so she's like really like trying to push this whole agenda. Meanwhile, everybody else is like, no, we don't want this. We're good being independent. All of our dancers were like, we need to make you employees. They're like, why? Because this is what the government, I don't want to be an employee. I'm going to be an employee for 15 different businesses. That's stupid. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of drama, and it's going to be modified. I just don't know at what length. But Uber and Lyft, that's a whole different animal, because this AB5 happened because of Uber and Lyft, and they're the ones that are probably going to fight it enough and get a little carved out. You know what I mean? That sucks. And everybody else is going to be screwed. Yeah, because it's money.
How are the things over there as far as like DJing and stuff goes? Are you guys still like full lockdown?
Yes, 100%. Wow. I mean, there's an occasional party, if you do it at your house, that they will allow you to do it as long as you're at social distancing. But in reality, there are no gigs. There's just absolutely nothing. Like my phone doesn't ring, at all. Like, that's weird to me.
Wow.
It always used to ring, and now it doesn't ring, because people are just waiting. Like when we started getting closer, and I think they were starting to open up other states. Phone calls started coming in. I need to book for 21. I need to blah, blah, blah. And now that we're back at it again, like every time the state says, "Oh no, we got to quarantine more, the numbers are up," people just stop calling. Yeah. And it sucks. But what are you going to do? I don't think, even when we come back, because we're going to come back, I don't think that we're going to have to deal with the fact that we're starting over from scratch. Yeah. Because I think that, there are going to be new DJs out there that's, starting up businesses. Maybe they come in cheaper than everybody else, which is possible. But I think people are still going to want to call those established companies. at that point, it's going to make more sense. You know, go with who you trust.
I mean, if I can speak from based on like what we've experienced here, like here technically it's a little bit blurred. You know, everybody's breaking the law left and right, more or less. So here they've been easing restrictions, and then people just take it on. Oh, it's open, you know. So everybody's just been trying to find loopholes. Like first they started with like I did a video on it, which was like, oh, you know, you can't dine indoors, but you can dine outdoors. So they're, you know, these venues are like, all right, let's get tents, let's have these parties outside. Right. No dance floor or whatever. But yeah, you know, like some of them, like I've had like packed dance floors where I'm just like, shit, I'm not sharing this. Like I've been like scratching. I have 2 gigs that I did where I'm just like, damn, there's hella Corona out on that dance floor. But yeah, man. Everybody's just trying to find loopholes, but it's been business as usual, to be honest, man. Like going back, nobody gives a fuck, dude. And I'm the kind of person where I'm just like, I just because of my luck, the way things always go, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna get this fucking thing. I'm gonna get it. Like that's just the way I've always am. I'm just like, fuck. As soon as I heard about it, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to deal with that. Like that's why I don't even like hearing about people having diseases or anything, because I'm just like, fuck, I think I have that.
Yeah,
I'm that type of person.
We were just talking about that. That's funny.
So you know, anytime I hear about something, I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna get it. So like with me, when I'm doing these events, I'm just like, everybody get the fuck away from me. Like I'm a little bit on edge just because I don't want it. Because I hear, oh, minorities, immigrants, you know, they're the hardest one hits. I'm like, oh, I'm all of those. So I'm just like, damn. But
like you're just more susceptible to it because you're a minority.
Yeah, I'm a minority. I'm an immigrant. I was like, oh man, those are the hardest communities hit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but so
I get freaked out a little bit just because like I do have like asthma and I have like lung issues, and they're like, nope, anybody with asthma is dead. If you get corona, you die.
Me
and
too.
So now I'm like, so I'm all panicky. Yeah. Meanwhile, my partner, we did a party like 2 weeks ago, and he's coming in. He's, you know, he doesn't care. He's like masked down. I'm like, yo, man, like you gotta do it for me. Like you don't. I understand you don't agree, but like mentally, I think I could legitimately manifest corona with enough stress in my brain. You know, so it's like, just please, just put your mask on, just for me.
No, and dude, I'm like, you know, I'm not like a bitch. I'm not like the COVID police either. I've been doing these parties. I'm down for the ride, but I'm also like, you know, like whenever like somebody wants to shake my hand, I'm like hand sanitizer,
of course.
Like I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm like standing still after somebody's like fist pumping me or shit. Like I don't make it known, but I'm still like a little bit paranoid. But I've been doing.
I tell people now. I don't even hesitate. This is the best time to be that guy. Yeah. Like, sorry, don't shake hands. You know why? They're like, oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. It's not gonna stop after this. I'm still gonna be like, sorry, man. I got you. Yeah. Like I'm thinking about like even though NAMM is canceled this year, but like even when we go back, you know, I'm like, how am I going to be like shaking hands and doing all that stuff?
No,
like,
dude, believe it or not, these parties have been crazy, man. Like, people don't give a fuck, bro. They really don't care, bro. They really, really don't care. Trust me, you'll see once you start getting in the swing of things, you're just like, wow, people really. Yeah,
we haven't done one. We did one silent DJ party.
Yeah,
and that was the video I put up there. Yeah, and there was like 20 guests, 15 guests. But I haven't done any parties with a dance floor after that. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. Like every time I see dance floors, I'm like, how is that allowed? Like doesn't make sense.
I've done 7 parties back. 6 of those have been weddings, and 2 of them I was just like, oh my God. I was like, the other ones were like very reserved. They went from like, there was 100 person to like a 30 person, 40 person, and they've all danced, like I've never had I haven't struggled on the dance floor. 2 of them, bro, like hopefully nobody in Jersey is watching, but there must have been like 200, 300 people, bro, packed dance floor. The worst thing is that these venues don't allocate a dance floor area, so people just like converge in front of the DJ booth, bro.
Oh man! And oh god!
I was like, I'm like, this party's fucking rocking.
You probably should do. You should push the speakers forward like 10 feet, and then that way they won't be so close to you.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to be closer to the speakers. But did you see the the Instagram story that Nick put up about the lady that was telling on people, the party planner?
Nick who?
Nick. I can't
Nick
think of his last name right now. Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. So there's a lady that's legitimately going through, and every time she has a party, she's a party planner.
Yeah.
Every time she sees a party that there are more people and they're breaking quarantine rules, she calls them out. All online, calls the venues, so it's like some people, because Nick's whole video was like, hey guys, if you are doing this and people are dancing and they're packed and they're breaking quarantine, don't post it.
Yeah.
Just let it go. And I'm like, I get that, but for me, I'm just like, you can do anything you want to do. As long as you don't do it next to me. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
hey,
I'm the
more
same way.
power
Like
to
I've been DJing these parties, but it's a little bit awkward too, because like when I greet my clients, I used to give my brides hugs and stuff at the end of the night. I was be like, oh,
Right.
congratulations. It's so weird, man. Like that's like I'm already awkward to begin with, and now I'm like even more awkward because I'm just like, hey, thank you so much for having me. It's so
my
weird.
wedding day. I'm so excited. You're like, I'm excited for you too.
And I just don't know, because I don't ask my clients like, how do you feel about, like, I don't ask that question, I'm just like,
Okay.
and
I think right now, I think it's a fair question to ask. Like, what is your plan for your party?
The problem is they've made it political,
Right.
That's the problem. So if you ask somebody like that, it's basically asking, are you for Trump or against Trump? That's pretty much the question that that way, that's kind of like the way they've made things, which I kind of hate, because I'm just like, I just don't know what kind of party you want to have. Because like, there's certain things that I don't do. Like, for example, I used to encourage dancing. Like lately, I don't do that. I've been talking to a couple of my DJs friends, and they're just like, yeah, I'm still saying everybody come to the dance floor, everybody come do this. Like I haven't been doing that. I've been doing it all organically. Like, just like, if they come, they come. If they don't, then they don't.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You have to change up everything. We did a hora, and we were like, she's like, they want to do a hora. I'm like, how do you do a hora when you can't grab hands? Like that's kind of a part of it. And so we just had everybody stand up in their chairs, and just the family was in the middle, and they lifted the chair from there. But it's like, but we already acknowledge that we know it's going to be difficult. If you try to ignore it, you're going to piss off people that are like truly like, COVID safe.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to walk that tightrope. It's weird.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing, man. But yeah, man, like honestly, like I think once we get the green light, it's just gonna be
Dre Day.
Like I thought it was gonna be like we're gonna slowly ease into it. But it's just it's gonna be like just like a shot, like just straight back to normal.
We want to party. We want to party on Saturday. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be like I remember I was like, oh, it's gonna be a slow build, but it's just gonna be back to normal. But granted, I mean, financially wise, I think we're still gonna take a hit.
Yeah, and it won't be just about the DJ. I mean, it'll be about like you have to find a new way to make money, because they're still gonna hire a DJ, but they're gonna be like, well, I don't want this, and I don't need this, and I don't need this. It's just a small backyard, blah, blah, blah. So now you have to like bring in new things to sell them to cover it. Now for us, like I'm technically okay with that, because the majority of the money we spend is on human resources. So if they're like, we just want an MC and a DJ, but I can sell them on uplighting and TV screens for Zoom and all that stuff, like I'm actually going to make more money that way than paying for people. So like I'm okay with that. And then I don't have to fight the damn EDD about all the people that don't work for me, so make it a little easier.
And I think like for me personally, I think I'm expected to take like at least like an income loss for like, at least till 2022, maybe, just because like I said, even 2021, like I said, I've stopped marketing. So, the events that are coming in for 2021 are few and far between, so that's going to hurt. So 2021 is also going to be shot. I don't know how full my calendar would have been if I would have kept advertising, but again, it's just like you're bleeding money,
Right, exactly. Well, that's why we shut the office down.
Yeah,
just
same
for that
thing.
reason.
Same thing. I moved to a different office, dude. Everybody was like saying prayers for me because they thought I was like dying when I did that.
It's all over my comments.
Yeah,
all over it.
Dude, I was like, what are you guys talking about? It's just,
It's business.
yeah, it's business. It's like it doesn't make any sense for me to have something that that I'm not using.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, and then for 2022, I just don't know how fast I'll be able to book that because like I said, I'm not doing any marketing, and I scaled back. So at least till 2023, I see like just lost in income for the next 2021, 2022. 2020 is definitely, I ran my numbers the other day. It's like 70% loss of income, and that's if everything that's still in the books happens.
Oh no, I have a software, a booking software
Yeah.
that shows you your expected revenue per month.
Yeah.
And then I made the mistake of looking, and it was like for all the people that either postponed or whatever, it was like for the last 3 months. No, it was for 1 month. I think it was in April. I lost, I think it was like 160 grand.
Wow.
From money that was supposed to come in April. It was just absolutely insane. But just like, what are you going to do? I mean, because for me, those are my bread. I mean, people are like, well, that's a lot of money. No, because I have
overhead.
I have overhead. I'll do 4 to 5 parties every weekend. So you do the math, that's 20, 25 parties. I got to pay for people. I got to pay for equipment. I got to pay for rentals. So it's like that 150 grand is not that much. It just seems like it, So I just I hope it comes back. I'm definitely starting to build other things, because even though it's going to come back, your monthly income just for DJing is going to drop considerably.
Yeah.
So I need something to supplement.
What are you doing as far as supplementing your income?
Right now, it's just the stuff that I'm doing online. Everything, Like I was fortunate for a couple of my YouTube videos did really, really well.
Yeah.
So that was that. You can make good money on Twitch, man.
Yeah. Oh, you're making money on Twitch already?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot, but I've made like $300 a month. Wow. Just from DJing. So it just depends. It's subscriptions and bits. I don't get bits on here. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get more people to throw bits on a talk show. Yeah. Versus like when you're DJing, they're like, oh, that's a great mix. Here's some money. So it's a little different. But right now I've just been okay, just because like I haven't had to have. I don't have a mortgage payment at the moment. Everything's been deferred. So that right there has saved my ass. And I did have money. I had money saved up, and I don't spend my YouTube money. Yeah, it goes into a completely different account. So I've never even touched it. So it was like, so I looked at it, I was like, oh wow, there's some good money in there. So it's like I still have some more safety net a little bit. Like it was supposed to be for me to fix my roof. I was taking that money to fix my roof and to like invest in in properties and stuff like that. But life gets in the way, so it is what it is. We'll work through it. It's a way for cheering. Oh yeah. For people that don't know, people that are on YouTube and Mixcloud and everywhere else, bits are a way of tipping the person for whatever reason. Yeah. And it starts with like 1 bit, which is equivalent to like, I think it's like a penny. Yeah. and then it goes up from there. So it all helps.
Dude, like you have no idea, dude, how much those club quarantines saved my ass. Like my audience really just fucking came through, dude. Cause
I saw it. Bro, I was pissed off. I was like, damn, how is he making so much money?
Dude,
I was so jealous.
It was, but like, I'm so thankful for my audience, dude. Cause they bro, my YouTube income, I'll just throw some real numbers out there. Like I was making like around $2,000 a month on YouTube.
Okay.
Pretty steady. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, when this hit, this shit was just going down, bro. And I was it was like a crashing plane, and I was just trying to pull up, pull up. I started making videos every single day, bro. And the thing is still crashing. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then I started doing the live stream. And then it starts climbing a little bit up. Like it wasn't what I was making, but bro, you have no idea how much these people that watch me on the internet save my ass, bro.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
unemployment wasn't enough, and it was just like, if I went from making, like, I was in the low end, I was always like assured $1,500 from YouTube a month. That was just like,
gotcha.
I just got so used to it. I was like, it was like
Right.
a month, a year and a half that I was just used to at least getting like in the low end 13, in the high end 2. And then it just stopped, dude. I went from like that to like $200, $100, and I was just like, oh my God. And then I start doing the club quarantines, and granted it was still low. I went to like $700, but bro, that's like, bills, my car payment. It was just, thank God, man. I love my audience. They're the best, dude. They're the best.
Yeah, no, your audience definitely takes care of you. And I have a good audience, but like you have like love. like people like love you, and that's great. I respect that. Like, I'm just like, damn, that's super dope. That's probably why I'm on here, trying to show people that, like, I'm a real person. But it's like, so I don't get that right now, but like I know it'll happen at some point. Like when I DJ, I get the bits, I get the subs. I just don't get it on this channel, which is funny because this is the channel where you get the most bang for your buck. Like I'm literally talking tech for 2-3 hours, so it should be something where people are like, hey, I am learning from this, so I got to figure out what I want to do with that. As somebody said, make it a sub only chat. I don't disagree, but to be fair, I do engage my crowd. It just depends on when you are. I do find that people, the later you get in the afternoon, the more they want to give you money. Like morning, really? I think morning might be, people are like, I don't want to give money at 9 in the morning, but like later on in the day, people are like a little more easygoing.
Dude, you don't feel like the live streams are getting a little bit burnt out? Because when I did my live stream this Saturday, bro, that was my worst one to date. But I don't know, it's because I took a month off. And it wasn't even that I wanted to take a month off. It was just that I was working on Saturday nights. And I was working this Saturday. I was working, but I got home at 10. It was an early party. It was a graduation party. And I got home at 10. I'm like, all right, I can go on live. Like, I'll just run home real quick and I'll just plug in my stuff right after my gig. I went on, bro, and I don't know if it was just because I deconditioned my audience, because my audience was conditioned every Saturday night. They were just expecting it. But I showed up, man, and it was probably my worst live stream performance to date. I was averaging around 200, I would say. That was like
that's impressive.
I was pretty much assured that I would at least touch 200. This one, I think we were hovering around 150. But I was also getting no donations, dude. I got zero.
Yeah, that's why you were like, "Damn, what's wrong with you people?" Where's my money?
I only got $20 this week. And if you think about it, YouTube takes 40%, which most people don't know. So I paid for Ecamm right before, because my Ecamm had lapsed because I canceled it since I wasn't using it. So, bro, I made enough to pay for Ecamm, so I netted $0.
I had So it's funny you say that, because I canceled Ecamm. I'm only on Restream now. Yeah. I use Restream for my studio, and it makes it real easy to do this kind of stuff. So that's why I signed up for it. I liked Ecamm. Yeah. I just didn't like the interview portion of it. I didn't want to go through Skype. Yeah. But let's see. Real DJ said, Yoshi said, I had the worst live stream last night. I only had like 45 people, but Friday was a vibe. So look, let's take a look at what's going on. Yesterday, football season. We had football on. So you're going to get less people on certain days now because of sports. And I have to think that, like, sports, have a lot to do with people wanting to listen to music at the time. You're just going to have to kind of pick and choose what days are important. I usually go on at about 3 o'clock, 3:30 when I do DJ. Yeah.
No offense, but your times are weird, man. Like, well, at least for New Jersey, like, you're on in like the middle of the day here.
Well, no, it would be about 6. Wouldn't it be like 6 o'clock?
When you do your Saturdays, you're usually on like at 3 here, which is, I guess, is like 5 or 6 your time.
No, I go on about 3:30.
3:30.
Yeah, so it's got to be 5:30 for you. But but for some people, it might be in a weird spot. I have not found a spot that I'm like truly comfortable with, and I don't necessarily want to do a 7 o'clock spot.
Yeah.
You know, because then if I dedicate that, now I have to do that, and I have family and stuff, and it's like 3:30 is like a good time, you know, for me. But it's funny because like my boy Paris, he's got loyal. Even if he only has like 30 people on, 20 of those 30 people are just throwing him money. Here you go. Here you go. Yeah. So it's like, you know,
dude, but you too, dude.
Matter.
You pull a lot of donations. Like I don't pull like you. Like the thing about me is like I'll get donations, but they'll be sporadic. But for you, whenever I see your streams, like your shit's like just like they just keep coming, man. Just keep coming.
It depends.
I feel like I get lump sums and you just get little donations. Like it'll just be keep going, keep going.
Okay, that makes sense. I get that. I get that. Yeah, it's one of those things, and you know, it's always the grass is greener type thing. You know, I'll look at yours and be like, oh man, you look at mine and say the same thing. So it's something that we need to work through. But I'm just trying to find a way. I want to try to diversify so much that just little bits are coming in. And if I'm getting 500 from Twitch and 500 from YouTube and 500 from blah, 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 like it all adds up. Yeah. And that's all I wanted to do is add up. So that's why I'm doing this day show.
What's this?
Right now, there's 130 people on. There's 61 people on Twitch. So 60 other people are floating around probably on YouTube.
Did I move the needle though at all, or is this your normal numbers?
No. So no. The needle is up.
That's great.
This is it's a little different, but like usually speaking, Monday through Thursday, which is why I was considering, because Friday kind of broke my heart because I jumped on Friday, and then my numbers were like 25 people. I was like, what the hell happened? Like why are my numbers so low? And then because usually between Monday and Thursday is like I get more people on, you know. So my average has been anywhere between 50 to, I don't know, 50 to 70 people that kind of fluctuate right now? Through. But right now, that's only on Twitch. I'm talking. This is an aggregate of all of them. So usually, I think I said it probably around 85, 90. So being at 130, that's definitely a good number, you know. And probably people are going on YouTube and seeing your face next to mine. They're like, whoa, hold on, let me click. But the funny thing is, most of the chat is always coming from Twitch, and that's the difference. Like YouTube people will sit and they will listen, you know, but like the Twitch people are actually involved. Well,
here's the thing. I will say, I think that Restream bot kind of hurts the YouTube algorithm because, like, I watch your show, but I watch it on YouTube. And because I see Restream bot, it makes me not want to talk because I think nobody's there. I think it's like a robot. So I think that kind of, I wish they would do it some other way, like, because the way it looks now,
no, I think it looks
fake. It looks like
if you buy the premium, I think you can change that.
Yeah, because the way right now on YouTube, all I see is it looks like Restream bot is talking to itself. So it makes you not want to chat. And I don't know if anybody watching right now on YouTube, if you can comment, like, does that it kind of turns me off. Like when I'm watching, like I don't want to say anything because I feel like nobody's gonna acknowledge it.
Yeah, just because on Twitch it definitely says Restream bot. You know what? I wonder, since I have
on Twitch it looks normal. On Twitch it looks like a normal chat. It looks like normal people are talking, but on YouTube it looks like there's a bunch of robots there. Yeah, everybody's saying they agree.
Well, you know, hey, I'm trying to bring it. Look, okay, that's fine. If everybody just moves over to Twitch, problem solved. I'll just cut off YouTube. Like legitimately, if I'm getting 100 people on Twitch, I will cut off YouTube. Yeah, without question. Dude, but I need to average to average 75 people to be partner.
I just proved my point. Everybody's saying, "Yep." Shout out to JW in the chat. Yeah, dude, that Restream bot. I wish they would make it different. Like, I that must be like hard coding that what they have to do in order to make it look legit. But just seeing Restream bot makes you think that it's a robot. Yeah, or maybe
I don't disagree.
Can you rename it something else, like not that without the word bot?
No, you can change something, but you have to there's different tiers. So I need to see if the new tier that I'm on, which is a pro tier, I can change it. I haven't changed it since I upgraded. So I'm not even sure. So I'll have to look at that. Because that would be nice. Because everywhere else, I think it just says Cleveland Terry as responding. So I don't know. Let me look.
Yeah,
We'll
it says
figure it out.
yeah. On Twitch, it looks great. It looks normal. It looks like a normal chat. What's it
Yeah,
look
but
like?
sound is better.
What's it look like when somebody comments from YouTube and they send it over to Twitch? Somebody say something from YouTube. Does it merge on here too, or just on YouTube?
It merges everything.
It merges
back
everything.
and forth. Yep.
Oh, okay. YouTube. Yeah, it says robot there too. Robot. Yeah, but on YouTube, on Twitch, it's not as apparent. I don't know. YouTube just makes it look like spam.
Yeah, because on mine, I don't see. It doesn't say in my studio chat. It doesn't say anything about bots. It literally just has their name. So if I click on it and show it, see, it just shows it perfectly.
Yeah. And on where we're talking right now, because we're in the studio version, it looks great. I wish it looked like this in the actual stream, like with the Twitch logo. Why can't they do that? Probably YouTube doesn't want that, right?
Well, no. When I end the stream, I'm actually going to go check it out and see if that's an option. So, but it's been good. Actually, when I had Whoopig on last week, the numbers were good too. So I'm not complaining about the numbers. We'll have to see. Now we'll have to see what happens when Jay Book is on. Rachel Lynch is going to be on tomorrow, same time as you. So we'll see what happens. But I'm trying to turn this into a thing where I'm bringing on new guests, and it doesn't always have to be about the mobile DJ aspect, but just kind of everything, and just kind of make something out of it. Who knows? Yeah. This is the time to do it. If you're going to do anything, this is the time. So consistency is important.
Consistency is very important.
Yes. Yeah. And it's important for Twitch too. And that's my biggest thing.
It's important for Twitch.
Well, no, I haven't done a specific time when I DJ. Like I DJ on Wednesdays at 3:00. Like I don't have that right now. So, Jay says we're about to explode Twitch when he comes on. So I don't have that. So I'm just doing pop-up shows. So I know that the only show that is guaranteed is Saturdays with my son. So my numbers are always good on Saturdays.
Yeah.
But every other day, it's questionable, but.
Dude, I think I killed my freaking audience with my Saturday show. I had such great numbers on that. Now I went back this Saturday and now I'm like, oh, is it even worth it to keep doing it? It kind of
a new day though.
It kind of sucked out the fun out of it. I'm just like, oh.
I've had that same thing. Like on Friday, when my numbers were low, I was like, maybe I should just cut out Friday. Like that's just irrational thought that we have because every day is a different day, and sometimes your numbers will be lower on some days and higher on the others. Yeah. You just kind of have to roll with it. But yeah, we both get emotional about things.
Yeah, so, but I told you, dude, I have soft skin. I'm like, oh, my audience hates me. Bye. Never coming on again.
Lady Beats wants you on, and then like I had a show on Friday. I DJ'd on Snapback Lives, and I had a problem with my computer, and my entire stream was fucked. Just totally slow, delayed, and everything. And then I finally went through because I'm using the A10 Mini Pro now. Like that's my main thing. Everything goes through here. If I'm not doing the show, I DJ directly from the A10. So like I don't stress about, oh, is my computer going to be too hot? Is it going to mess up? Like I don't have that issue anymore. Yeah. But after that, I was so bitter about the whole thing all day long. I was just like, I sucked. The whole thing sucked. That was my chance, and I screwed it up. Like it's like I always mess with myself.
Yeah, but, I'm the same way, dude. I'm the same way. And people are like, "Oh, don't look at the numbers," and I'm like, I cannot. I am not that person. Like I'm always like overanalyzing myself. Like, dude, when I finish my live stream, I go back and rewatch. I'm like, damn, I could have done this. I could have done that.
We can always do better.
I'm that person, bro. I'm so hard on myself. People tell me that all the time. They're like, oh, stop that.
But here's the thing, though. I think you being hard on yourself also allows you to go, how do I improve it? Because I looked at it and I was like, my computer fucked me yesterday. What am I going to do? All night long, I was thinking, how do I get all the things that I just did in OBS to apply to my A10? And I found a solution. It just took me, I had to go through an entire night of barely sleeping in order to find it. But then I found it. So you got to do both. When mistakes happen, you just have to go, okay, it happened. How do I make this thing better? How do I get over it? And now everything's getting better and better. So
Dude,
no complaints.
Barr on Twitch. They want me on Twitch. It's gonna be so hard, man. I know one of the things as far as social media on the back end, it's very hard to move an audience. Once your audience is on one platform, it's very hard to migrate them to another platform. Like the biggest guy on Twitch was Ninja, and he couldn't move nobody to Mixer. Like that shit went out of business. Now he's back to it's very hard to migrate an audience. That's why it's a tough ass, just because.
I have a feeling though that a lot of your people are already on Twitch.
You think? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, again, all the DJs are on Twitch, like all of them. So it would be easy to be like, hey guys, I'm moving over to Twitch and start with the restream.
And then I'm going to be that guy though, man. But I always said, like, I was always kind of like shit talking Twitch. I was like, man, if it works, I'm going to be the next guy on there. Yeah. But I don't know. I didn't want to be the first guy. Like, you know, I didn't want to be one of I'm not about being a pioneer, but if I see it's working, you better believe I'm going to show up.
You know, and for you, you have to just look at both sides. I mean, if you are making good money on YouTube, then I get the fact that why would you want to leave if you're making good money? Because Twitch seems to reward people that dedicate, and not Twitch, I'm talking about the actual audience, seems to reward people that dedicate themselves to the audience on Twitch. Like if you're talking with them and being with them, they typically will reward you. But on YouTube, it's not necessarily the same. You know, people already have their kind of their ideas on there, but Twitch is almost like legitimately like they're at a bar like, okay, well, dude, I like that.
So is October 1st, is like Twitch going to explode because all the DJs have to move over there? Is that fake news? What's going around about Facebook? Is that real, or what's going on with
legitimate.
that?
Facebook is legitimate. They're shutting it down.
Yeah.
No, because people are already over there. Right now, most people have only just been restreaming. They've been on both platforms.
Yeah.
But everybody knows that if you're on Facebook, 45 minutes down the line, Facebook's going to kick you off. Like right now, I don't even know if I'm still on Facebook. I'm on Mixcloud, I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I don't do it to Periscope or any of that stuff. So
Periscope, wow.
People always bring it up all the time. Why don't you DJ to Periscope? I'm like, because there's nobody
on
Periscope.
Periscope? Yeah. Wow.
All the time. Yeah.
Taking me back.
But this is the first show that I did with no music. So, I mean, I've played music. I have like my Epidemic Sound music that I'll play in the background. But this is the first show that I didn't actually DJ because I wanted to turn it into an actual show that I could keep up on YouTube and post it as a podcast and not be worried about it being closed off. You know what I mean? So you're probably going to be my first official podcast. So welcome, Barr.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
I feel like I'm everybody's test dummy for podcasts. You know how many podcasts I've done where you're like, hey, you're the first one.
Hey, you know, it's okay to be that guy. That just means that you have a personality that will lend itself to, although Whoopig's was pretty funny. Whoopig, because he was last minute. I was like, hey, man, what are you doing right now? Get on. He was like, okay. And it was just, he's just so down to earth. He's got that country voice and everything is just like a big ball of laughter. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with Rachel tomorrow. Because, you know, Rachel's so good, but she's also so like legitimately like professional.
She got a cult following, man.
She really does. Like, have you looked at her? Like, have you really looked at her Facebook numbers? They're amazing.
Bro, I told you, like, every time I go on Facebook, I get upset. I go on Facebook and I'm all pissed off because somebody is like, I just have thin skin.
You know, maybe it's because you think Facebook is like more personal because it's like there are people you added in as like friends.
Yeah, bro. Like, good thing you brought that up. Why the fuck do these people add me if they hate me?
I don't know.
Stop adding me.
They're doing the same thing to me. I know. And legitimately, like, because I'm like, I have a fan page. Like, just join the fan. Like, I'm posting right now on the fan page because that's where I should be posting this type of content. But when people add me as a friend, I'm like, first off, I don't know anything about you. And I legit thought about posting anybody that adds me as a friend. If you pop up on my stream talking about Trump this, Trump that, and blah, 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 I'm done. You're getting canceled. Like, I don't need that on my stream. This is a friend. They're supposed to be friends on Facebook, not randoms. And it's weird to me, but it's like, that's the nature right now.
Yeah.
You know, and I always qualify like who follows. Like, I'm like, okay, this guy's okay. Who's he? Okay, so Barr's on. Okay, Rick Webb. Okay, Mojax. Okay, fine. But if it's like nobody that like I even know, like any like professionals that I know, like I'm not adding you.
Well, some of these guys are like career adders, you know, like they have like everybody that's like, you know, all the guys, all the DJs. And I click on them, I'm like, damn. Yeah, but I'm just like, I don't know who you are, and like, is this gonna get me into trouble? Like, I'm just like, they're gonna tag me on some post, and I'm gonna get super upset, and I'm like, this sucks, ruined my day. Now I'm all pissed off, you know, like, just.
I've been thinking about throwing up a post that just basically says, everybody that's followed me, I need you to go to my Facebook account, my Facebook fan page. I have to do something.
Yeah,
I got to move them over because it doesn't make sense if I'm not posting anything DJ related on my personal page, then why are you following me? That's weird. You know, especially if you don't comment. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, they'll follow you and they don't say anything. Like, why are you on here? You
Bro,
know,
and then you'll post one thing and they'll like, I rarely post on Facebook, and the one time I'll post something, it'd probably be somebody like contradicting me or something like that. And also the worst thing is that I'm Hispanic, bro, and this is like a thing in the Hispanic world. I don't know if it's true, but like I have my aunts and uncles and, you know, people from like Nicaragua, like my home country. They're also my friends on Facebook. So I'll post, hey, everybody go buy my sound effects pack. And then in like Spanish, they'd be like, oh, mijo, Dios te bendiga, which means like, oh, sweetie, it's good to see that you're doing well. Tell your mom I said hi, God bless you, and best of luck with your business. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, they don't know. It's just like the Spanish world is so skewed. So I'll post like a promo. And then I'll have like my aunt and uncle comment like oh, bendiciones mijo and shit like that. I'll just be like, oh man.
but again though, but that's the important part, because it allows you to communicate to your entire family without actually talking to them.
Yeah.
So they can be like, okay, I know you're alive and safe and obviously doing well. So that's why I post myself. But like I legit, like, when I was thinking about what to add on Restream today, I was like, so should I do my personal one? And I was having like complexes, like, I don't know. So I ended up not doing it because I don't necessarily want people. I don't want it to be all over my friend pages. And right now, because Facebook is so damn political, like I'm like, I don't even want you knowing what I'm doing. Yeah, you don't even like me anyway. You know, like,
dude, I feel
like, you know.
I don't know if it's just, I feel the same way. I feel like just nobody on my Facebook likes me. So I'm so scared to post on there.
That's the algorithm. The algorithm has shut down all the good people because you're not looking at those people. Yeah. Like, you actually have to go in and like start liking people that you want to see, and then they'll all start to pop back up. Because right now, for a moment I got into a real big like Trump and All Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter. I got into a huge kick. Yeah. And then like, all of a sudden, my entire page was the same stuff over and over again. I was like, and then I was getting annoyed, and I was like, oh, it's because I was following that. So then I had to start muting people, and then my stream got better. Muting is your best friend. That 30-day snooze is like a lifesaver.
I thought that was just me, bro. I snooze people all day. I'll unsnooze, follow, mute, bro. I do that all day.
It's the only way I stay sane because it's like, because, you know, there's this new kick of like, I didn't delete you because of an opinion. Like, you know, that's that whole thing. It's like this kind of backwards mentality, reverse psychology. Like, if you delete somebody, then you're the bitch.
Well, you know, like, I used to block people, but then they started finding our live streams.
You can't win. Hey, that's what happens when you have 50,000 people. I have like 22,000. I'm nowhere near you. So, you know, hey, more power. And how many years have you been actually doing YouTube?
I would say 4 years. 2016 was kind of like you know, like you're trying it out kind of thing. And then 2017 was like, all right, this is legit. I'm staying on. This is my thing now. So yeah, about
Interesting.
yeah.
That's good though. So 4 years. So I've been on 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years. But I didn't hit any real legit numbers until last year.
Dude, but
and now the
my
numbers.
yeah, but my thing has always been a grind, dude. Like I never like I feel like you had a moment where you just like popped off. Like I
Right.
never had that. Like mine's always been like a fucking slow crawl, dude. It's been like, oh, all right, we hit like 1,000 now. Let's wait another month. Like I feel like you had a stunt, bro, where you were just like on fire. I never had that.
I get that. I get that. And yeah, you're probably right. But like, I don't know. It is. You have to disconnect yourself from it because it can really screw up your brain. When you're like, oh wow, look, I just gained all these followers, and then it gets back to normal, and you're like, oh, so does that mean that I suck now? But because maybe your numbers were super high. Like my last couple of videos, they've been fine. They're going to end up doing, both of them probably going to end up doing 10K plus, 10 to 15, and I'm fine with that. But like once you start hitting those 50,000 and 70,000 view marks, it's really intoxicating. And you're like, DJ Barr Games? What is that? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me, man.
Is that your name?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Hold on.
How did they know that I was on here? They started saying DJ Barr Games.
There you go. Like your numbers are going to shoot through the roof right now.
Really? Bro. Well, I probably picked the wrong channel to do this on because you're going to have me back on when I make a DJ Barr channel. Because this is the one I was using for my video games, and then people would come on and say shit like, "When's your next DJ video? This is bullshit."
I actually have people that do both, and that's kind of the thing like right now because like I was DJing and then I did a talk show, and then I was DJing and talking, and now today I'm like, you know what, we're not going to play any music, and people were like, what do you mean? Like, well, because it's a talk show. We're going to see how I can do it. And look, this has been my longest show. You have now extended through my longest show. So congratulations. It's never going to happen.
Drop some emojis.
I gotta get my sounds going. I don't have any real sounds. Like I don't have those extra ones right now.
Oh, you need some sound
I'll get
effects.
them in there.
Bro, during my club quarantine, people are like, "Wow, he really does use a lot of sound effects."
They're like, now that we own them.
I thought that was just the thing he sells them. He actually eats, lives, and breathes sound effects.
and you put them on your they're all over your videos too. Like you use them. Like it's a thing for you. Yeah. And that's the one thing. That's the one thing I will say because everybody's different. Yeah. But your gig logs do phenomenal. Where my gig logs are like, they're okay, but they're nowhere near your numbers. Your numbers are insane. Zion, what's for up? Gig logs.
I average about 10K on a gig log. That's a decent gig log for me.
Okay.
But again, it goes back to the thing. People don't watch because of my content. I honestly feel like I made it to a thing where it's just like me telling a story, where it's just like people coming to find out what I'm up to. It's just, it's not even about the content anymore because the way I talk to the audience is just like, "Hey, check this out. What do you guys think about this?" Like, it's just broing out more or less, just like kind of what we're doing right now. Right. But there's just no response. Whenever I'm like, "Oh, what do you guys think? Oh, what should I do?" Or like, "You guys should try this," kind of thing. It's very organic. It's not. And this is one thing that I like pride myself in, and like I feel like you, Jay Book, and Rick. It's something that we don't have is that we're not preachy, and I feel like everybody else in the DJ like influencer world is very preachy, and I love that we're not like that. Like most of the time, I can't watch anybody else, bro, because it's super preachy. It's like do it this way, do it that way, and us is just like this is how I do it. Like
right, exactly.
Yeah. So
I agree with you on that, and it's okay because like we can have our favorites. Yeah. We can have things that we like, but we're like, it works for me. Yeah. It may not work for you. And that's okay.
Dude, because I mean? Like I see all these other like influencer DJ guys and they're all like, this is the way, do it this way. And I feel like we take like such a like what? We were more of a laid back approach when the way we the way we how do we say it? The way that we share content is different than the way they share theirs, because theirs is very like a teacher and a student, and like it's dumbed down. It's just like, I've been doing this, so I'm right, kind of thing. And we don't have that arrogance. At least I don't feel like.
Yeah, well, but that's the funny thing, because when I first started doing my videos, I got that because everything, no matter what I'm talking about, I'm telling a story. If I'm doing a Rain 70 review, I'm telling a story. And people would be like, dude, just tell us what it is. Just tell us the specs. And I'm like, that's not me. And I think they got that because the older people were like, nope, this is what it is. This is how it is. This is why you should buy it. Buy. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna talk to you. I talk, and either you like it or you don't. Yeah. And there's a place for everyone. You know what I mean? Like the world, there's a lot of people that are like super rigid, and that's all they want to know is the facts. Then there's people that are like, you know what? I like to get on YouTube. I like to chill out, hang out with my favorite person, and learn something. Like we're sitting there. Like if you were teaching somebody how to do something, you wouldn't be sitting in a chair next to them and just like, do this. You know what I mean? You'd be telling them a story and talking to them while they're learning. And that's kind of the way I try to do things, And yours are totally broy. I don't have broy. You have broy. And because I've looked at your stuff, I'm like, damn, like it's just like he's just chilling. Like, and it works for you. Yeah. That whole and I think that's the difference, because like you, me, Whoopig, J-Book, it's all the same. We're just being ourselves on video. Yeah. We're not trying to be somebody else. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, so it comes off authentic because we're not trying to be somebody. We're just who we are. Yeah. And
that's the way, like for me personally, like that's like how I learn. Like I learned through watching. So like, I'm not the type of person that like can sit and like, kind of like when I was in school, I would just be like, all right, I could just watch what the teacher was doing and just kind of, I would get it. Yeah. And I feel like that's how a lot of people learn. Like they're vicariously watching you do it, and they're studying things that necessarily are not conveyed when you're looking at like, this is like step 1, step 2, step 3 kind of thing when it's like on paper. So it's just a different way of consuming content, I guess. Because I get all the time like, oh, I learned so much from my videos. I'm like, what did I teach?
Yeah, but you taught it in a way that they were able to absorb, no matter what it is. Because I can go and talk for 20 minutes and just tell specs. And then this is what I was saying earlier before you got on. Half the people are never even going to absorb it because they're not really listening. It just becomes numbers and text. But if you can tell a story, that's how people absorb. And then they'll take it back and go, oh, I remember when Cleveland Terry said this because this is why. And wait, hold on. What did Whoopig say? Whoopig said, the new YouTube DJs try to be the expert. That's a turnoff for me. Yeah. Agreed. And to be fair, I don't watch a lot of YouTube guys. I really don't. I never have, because I've never wanted to be, I never wanted to feel like I'm starting to act like them. Yeah. So like, especially if there's a video on a product that I haven't done yet, I won't look at their video at all until like I've done my stuff. And then maybe I'll look at it to make sure I didn't forget something. But like, who's Carlos, Anton, whatever, the what do you call it, winner, the Red Bull winner. He won at least in his country. Yeah. He's a super dope DJ. And he does a lot of stuff. And for the longest time, he's on that product roll where people send him product like ahead of time. So the moment a thing gets released, he's literally releasing the video. And for a while, a lot of his videos, although they looked good and they were flashy and they looked smooth, there was a lot of just like bullet points. Yeah. And I kept thinking, it looks good, but like there's no substance. Like where's the actual facts? Like you're just reading off a note card basically. Yeah. And then he did his video recently on the CDJ 3000s. And you know how much the CD3000s are taking a hit right now because they're not.
Bro, I was about to make a because I don't know, like I people always think like I'm biased, but I was gonna make a video on the 3000, and quite frankly, I just think that shit's obsolete, bro. Like that shit has no place in the world now. they fucking the S9 fucking butchered that thing. And then controllers, dude, because you know people just like when they comes to a mixer of choices, the S9, like that's what everybody wants. It's no longer the 800s, the 900s. Like they just butchered that whole line. And that the 3000, that shit doesn't even play CDs. So for me, they should have called that thing the XDJ, but they already have an XDJ, and they didn't want to. You know, that's just like it's such an iconic name, CDJ, that I guess they didn't want to butcher their own line. But that thing is dead on arrival, dude. Like, who the fuck needs that? Like the controllers are so great now. And well, I think Pioneer warrants all the hate, dude. Like, fuck that thing. That thing is stupid. Like, who the fuck needs that?
That's how you really feel.
No, you don't need that. You don't need the CDJ 3000. It's just you don't need it. You don't need it.
Well, and you probably saw, you know, a lot of my whole thing was a lot of the reviewers, all the top level reviewers were like, this isn't for you. This is for rental houses and clubs. This was never designed for you. This is for the professional. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Bro, it's not even for clubs, bro. It's not. Because, I remember, I was a club guy. Like, people like, you know, I'm the wedding guy now, so I lost my street cred when it comes to that. But I did a lot of fucking clubs, bro, in my day.
Right.
And I was there. I was there when that transition happened, bro. I remember I wanted to go into a club, and if I didn't see CDJ, I was fucking salty. I was like, oh, what the fuck? There's some Denons here, or there's some Newmarks. What the fuck is this? And then, bro, I started seeing SXs. I'm like, I can rock with this. I was okay with it. Mm-hmm. But for $2,000, bro, it's the price of one CDJ.
Right.
And I was just like, you know what? I'm okay with this. And now the clubs caught on. They know that DJs are okay with, as long as you give them the biggest one, they're going to be okay with it.
Yeah.
So it's dead, bro. It's fucking dead on arrival. Don't buy that shit. Pioneer messed up. They should have called it the XDJ, started a new line, going off their CDJ wave that they wanted to sell it on the narrative that it's a CDJ. But it's fucking 2020. Get you a controller and call it a day. And if you're going to get, players, you're probably better off with like an S9 and something like Terry has, just getting turntables, sticking it with the culture. But at this point, it makes no sense to get CDJs. And I'm a CDJ fanboy. I've owned pretty much everything from the 1000 all the way up leading to the 3000. And I'm here to tell you, as a CDJ lover, you don't need it. You don't need it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And I just gave you one of my videos.
On Instagram.
That was my video. No, but I'm still going to probably make that video and just like,
You should. Yeah. But what I was saying was, so Carlos, he finally was like, I don't like this. I don't like the CDJ at all. And I was like, that was the first time I've ever seen him actually like have an issue, because he's always been just so, rah for every product. And I was like, okay. And I actually commented, I'm like, yo, man, this is the video. This has been, this is sincere. I appreciate this video.
I saw the thing. Honestly, not that I'm a hater or anything, but I saw it and I rolled my eyes. I was just like, oh God. Because I knew my feed for the next couple of days was just going to be all CDJ 3000. Yeah. But I knew the CDJ was dead. I knew the CDJ was dead. So when I saw it, I literally rolled my eyes. I'm like, I honestly didn't care. I did not care.
I kind of feel like they're setting it up though, because we know that there's more products in the pipeline, and maybe they were like, well, we just released the V10, so let's just get this out here, because in another month or so, we're going to release our main thing people have been asking for, because people have been asking for CDJs, but not really.
No, if nobody's asking for that, bro.
Yeah. So it's like the only thing people are asking for is a new S9 mixer.
Bro, people want an S9 DDJ Mark Part 2. Yes, DDJ 1000 Part 2, S9 Part 2. That's it, bro. They butchered their line. And it's honestly, it's not a fault of their own. It's a move that they had to make, because controllers are the new wave. There's no going back. Controllers have taken over. And in 2020, I'm here to tell you, it makes way more sense to go out and get a controller than to buy 3 pieces of equipment. It just makes no sense nowadays, if you're starting out, to go out and buy 3 pieces of gear for like $5,000 when you can buy a controller for $1,000. And the DJ 1000 is the best value for the price. Bro, I wish I was starting out DJing at this time because you would never be able to get a system like that at that price range.
No, definitely not.
Yep. And Pioneer shot themselves in the. I mean, they're probably selling that thing like crazy, but they killed an industry in releasing that thing because everybody wanted it. Everybody was like, everybody wanted a DDJ. That's what they were asking. We want like an S9 mixed with like CDJs. That's what they wanted, and they finally delivered it. It's a wrap. They killed their whole model of 3 pieces.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And like, you know, I love the DDJ 1000. I think a couple of more tweaks, like adding in like the echo cancellation from the DDJ 800, a couple of little things like that, and it'll be a perfect, and making it compatible with Rekordbox and Serato right off the bat, because I will never, ever, ever, ever buy another controller that isn't compatible with both softwares. Yeah. I'm done. Because I own a Rekordbox version and a Serato version.
Yeah.
And that's stupid. You know, so I just wanted to be able to work with both of them.
Yeah, and if Pioneer is watching, please consult us. I know, like, Pioneer probably thinks we're the scum of the earth. They like, here's the thing: these companies, they don't like mobile DJs. They think we're whack.
Right.
So they think we're the scum of the earth. So if Pioneer is watching, please just consult at least one mobile DJ. I know you guys think clubs are that's the end all be all, but I'm pretty sure there's more mobile DJs buying their shit because they all want to be club DJs, and there are club DJs buying their shit.
Yeah, agreed. And for the person asking, I am using Restream Studio. It's like Zoom, but so much easier to use. So Restream Studio, there's another one, StreamYards does the same thing. I'm just keeping Restream because I already use Restream. So it was actually cheaper for me to do that versus go with StreamYards. So that's what we're using. If people need to learn about this stuff, this is the future. Browser-based OBSs are the future because it takes all the pressure off of your computer. So you can use it on a piece of shit and be just fine. So Restream or StreamYards. And Be Live, but Be Live sucks. Don't do that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? This is I didn't know this was all web-based.
All web-based.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it totally makes things easier. That's why when I'm like, when we're like, let's do the thing, I'm like, let's just do it on mine. I throw the invite to everybody. Everybody pops on. We're good. You know, so that's why. And I think I haven't confirmed it yet for everybody that's listening, but we're supposed to be doing one Wednesday. Did we talk about Wednesday?
Yeah.
Or Tuesday?
Club Quarantine?
I got to check the comment. Yeah, the quarantine one. I thought it was this Wednesday.
I'm sorry, but I might not be able to make it.
See how it works?
Well, I'm supposed to do a live stream with ADJ and Canal, and it just so happened.
You have that relationship with ADJ. I don't have that.
Yeah.
Yet. Yeah. I just, but I do have a really good.
You have a relationship with everybody else, dude. You don't need a relationship with ADJ. Yeah. Like I have no relationships with anybody. Like I'll talk shit about any product. Who you want me to talk shit? You want me to talk more shit about Pioneer? Because I'll keep going.
I do have a full Denon, a full Rain MK2 setup coming this week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And, they won't send me shit like that. It's because I'm an immigrant, bro, and they don't like Latinos.
Wait, hold on one second. Okay. Sorry about that. I had family stuff kicking in because we are going much later than we normally do. So my family life is bleeding into my real life.
You're in trouble.
Well, it's been a long time. I've been on since 9:30, so it is 1 o'clock. So it is getting a little late. But DJ Barr, you were a fantastic guest today.
I'd
love to have you back on.
Yeah, man.
So we'll have to set up another time. For everybody else, it is for people asking about Restream. It is a paid service. Both Restream and StreamYards have a free service, but their free service puts their crap all over it. So if you want to put like an overlay, it's going to be the Restream overlay or the StreamYards overlay. But you can still do everything you do. StreamYards will only give you 20 hours a month of free streaming. Restream, since I already paid for it, it wasn't an issue. So that's what I'm using. Maybe I am going to do another video on Restream because they actually contacted me and they want to work with me. So I'm going to do a video on that one anyway, so you guys can kind of figure out what's going on. For everybody else, tomorrow's Tech Tuesday. We're going to talk tech as we always do. We have Rachel Lynch on, so that'll be a really, really, really cool time. And guys, give a round of applause to Mr. Barr for being an amazing guest today. I don't have that thing, so.
No.
There you go. You got that one. Okay.
What was that?
So those are my things. Those are all my samples.
Oh,
but
man.
I don't have any fun things.
You don't have any horns or any bombs?
I don't do that bullshit. So
Well,
I never have.
bullshit. You need to go download the DJ Barr sound effects, available now for $49.99.
Maybe you should send me one, and then I'll do a review on how good it is.
and then I'll get shit talked on you on Facebook for you promoting.
Oh, all right, guys. Hey, it has been a pleasure. It has been an absolute pleasure hanging with you. I'm going to sign off with you, and we'll get you back on now. This was dope. So,
all right.
Thank you so much, Barr. Appreciate you, man.
You got it.
All right. See you later. As I hang up on you. All right. Hold on. Let's get this back on. All right. There we go. All right, people. So that was good. That was a good time. Really, really appreciated it. Now, of course, as we all know, I am getting a little bit of the drama from life, as people do, because it is late now. I didn't expect to be on this late. I think I got Barr on at what time did I get Barr on? 11? So we went for an entire hour and a half, but that's what we do. We shoot the shit. That's why our quarantine sessions go for so long. I mean, I think we had one time, we normally start at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and I actually got off at, I think 9. I got off at 9, and then I just got off, and I was looking at the stream, and it was like 11 o'clock, and they were still on. I got back on, and then we went for another like hour and a half. So it can be pretty insane on those. So it is what it is. This was great, guys. Though I do appreciate everybody for hanging out. I know we didn't get a lot of chat done today. Like we didn't get a lot of comments on there, but it was super, super dope. We are going to raid somebody, so don't go anywhere just yet. We need to find out who we're going to raid. So let's take a look. For all you people on YouTube, you could be raiding with somebody else. We could be heading over to a super dope DJ and having a good time, but we're not doing that right now. So let's take a look at who we are going to raid today. Let's see who's on. Raid DJ Barr. That's funny. All right, let's see. So we got Snapback on. DJ Phillips is on. Flips is on. MC2J Man is on. I like to raid people that I haven't raided in a while. So let's see. I think we should raid Flips. Yeah, he just had a baby, so we definitely should should support the man. Before Twitch, I had no idea that some of these people had so many children. I mean, the man doesn't look like he's got children, but he's got a hell of a lot of children. He's now on my level, and they're all young children too. Like, that's what sucks. Like, I don't want 3 sub 6-year-olds. Like, that's a nightmare. But anyway, hey guys, I really appreciate you guys. Everybody else, everybody hang on. We're going to raid DJ Flips. So sit tight with me. Let's do this. All right, we are starting this raid. For all the people that are on Mixcloud, for all the people that are on YouTube, and even the people that are on Facebook, honestly appreciate you guys. Here's the rule when we raid. Do not just get off the raid. Get on there. Tell people where you came from. Show some love. Show some support for the entire stream. If it's not your vibe after the fact, that's dope. You can bounce. But we always want to make sure that we try to support people because that's what Twitch is all about. All right, y'all. It's time to go to bed. We'll see you next time. Peace out. Let's start this raid.